Well, what happens when you're in space without a suit?
It's like a vacuum. Like, don't you just probably get all shriveled up?
No, you expand.
What?
So, without a spacesuit in space, you become unconscious within 15 seconds due to lack of oxygen. Your blood and body fluids would boil and then freeze because of an extremely low air pressure, and your tissues would expand from the boiling fluids. You would face extreme temperatures and radiation exposure, and you could be hit by high-speed micrometeoroids or orbiting debris. Here's another little fun fact about being in space. There are small little fucking rocks flying faster than a bullet, always. Now, if you were out there without a spacesuit, these little rocks would blast right through you like you were butter. There is no temperature in space because there's no air. When you're facing the sun, you are cooking and your backside is freezing. And then you're getting hit with unregulated radiation because the sun is a nuclear reactor. All the light coming off the sun is radioactive. Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of the Barracks Party. Today, we're joined by our content director, Whiskey. Our one and only, our very own Whiskey, the songbird of our organization. She's in charge of our TikTok and all that good shit. You know, she's a former Marine, too. But she's been our content lady for the longest time, running the stream team, or the Task Force Regiment, as it's actually called. So tell us a bit about yourself. You were a Marine. What else are you?
Hi, I'm Whiskey and I'm an alcoholic. No, I'm kidding. I play guitar. I'm a plant mother. I hunt. I kill the shit out of birds. Can we cuss on here?
Yeah.
Nope.
Okay, yeah, I killed the fuck out of some damn birds. I'll tell you that much. Yeah, I love it. I have a Munsterlander. There's only about 2,000 in the US, and I have one, and his name is Cal. He's my murder dog. We love him.
What kind of dog?
He's a Munsterlander. It's a German hunting breed.
Munsterlander.
Right,
I want to look this up.
Yeah.
I want to see what this looks like.
It's small Munsterlander. There's large ones and there's small ones, and I have the small.
Oh.
He's gonna get like 55 pounds, 55, 60 maybe.
Wait, I've seen these dogs before. You said there's only like a couple thousand of them?
Yep.
I see these dogs
They look
everywhere.
They look a lot like something that makes me so mad is whenever they say, "Oh my gosh, she's such a cute spaniel." I do not have a fucking spaniel.
It's the ears.
It's a Munsterlander. I know. It's the ears. It's always the ears, especially when they're puppies.
Yeah, I had a spaniel, but yeah, those are not spaniels at all. I mean, if anybody that knows shit about dogs, they know that's not a spaniel. But yeah, I get why people think it is because it's them floppy, hairy ears.
Yeah.
What a cute dog,
so
though.
I don't even try to guess what breed people's dogs are. I feel like people get more offended about that than people that are like.
People really do. People really do get upset when you misgender or misspecies their dog. What? Did you just assume my dog's species?
It's like, yeah, I did. Sue me. I'm sorry. You can correct me if I'm wrong. Like, I'm sorry, but
it makes me so mad, and I don't know why. I really don't know why. Like, I personally, like, I am so attached to my dog. It feels like I fucking birthed this dog. Okay, like we are one and the same, two peas in a pod. So whenever somebody like calls him something he's not, dude, it makes me so mad because I'm like, fuck no. A spaniel did not cost how much this dog does, okay? Like,
you do know what I call these dogs? These Munsterlanders, you know what I, by default, call them? I call them bird dogs.
Yeah, I mean, but the thing is a lot of people consider, because there's obviously way more GSPs than anything, German short hair pointer. They're overbred and underworked, which means like just everybody gets them even though they don't hunt. But yeah, everybody like just assumes I'm like, oh yeah, I got a bird dog, or like they see a picture of Cal and they're like, oh, that's a GSP, and I'm like, no, the fuck, it's not. Like, it's not. The fuck it ain't.
I just say
childhood friends of mine had a GSP. They had its name was Anheuser. Cutest dog, funnest dog ever.
They're crackheads, man, but they definitely should be. I'm one of those people that if you get a working dog or a hunting dog and you don't hunt with them, you shouldn't own.
Oh,
like a
they
hunting
work
dog.
the shit out of that dog.
Yeah, unless by default, like some bird dogs, like genuinely, even though it's in their like genetics to hunt, some of them just fucking suck at it, and that's okay. That's the one exception where I'm like, yeah, I mean, yeah, it's a family dog, doesn't want to hunt, that's cool. But I definitely judge people.
That's like Malinois. You get some lemons, and then you're like, all right, you can't do your job. Just go off to a family that can take care of you.
I know a lot of people want a Belgian Malinois and don't even know what to do with it.
No, dude, them things are fucking missiles.
They are.
I would never own. I would never own one.
If I own one, I would have to have a lot of property because that's a very active dog. Very active. And a lot of people think like, oh, they are a pretty dog and they're a popular dog that the police and military use. And it's like one of those people have this hard dick for fucking military grade things for some reason. And they look at that as the military grade dog. And it's like the only exception where military grade actually means it works. But
yeah,
unless you know how to train this dog and raise it, you're gonna be fucking miserable. Because they can jump fences, like straight up picket fences, like those like tall wood fences. They can jump over that. They're escape artists. They
also need an ungodly amount of enrichment, like down to how they eat their food.
Mm-hmm.
Like everything, like it just needs to be constant enrichment for them, or else they're not going to be happy. They're going to be even more crazy than they already are. So yeah.
Yeah, my dog is he's a Goldador. He's a golden retriever black lab.
Oh,
he looks more like a black lab than a retriever, though. Imagine a black lab with a fuzzy tail. That's what he looks like.
Really? It didn't translate to his ears or anything?
No, his ears look like a lab's ears. I mean, he does kind of have the shape of a retriever's ears, but they're not like hairy like a retriever.
Is he short hair, like, or medium hair, or like
medium hair? Yeah. So he's got all kinds of problems. Like his allergies are fucking horrendous. And he's got the attitude of a lab, very vocal, whines, very needy.
My dog cusses me out so much. It's crazy.
Oh, Todd. His name is Todd. So like he fucking
You named your dog Todd. That's so cute.
I originally did not get Todd for me. My mom guilted me into buying him for my sister. Because I'd just come home from overseas and I was home for good. And my mom was like, think of all the birthdays you missed. Just go look at the dog. Because my sister was like, can you buy me a dog? And I'm like, no. No. You're not going to take care of this thing. So my mom's like, just go and look at the dog. You don't have to get it. I'm like, fine. And that's where I fucked up, as I caved in on it, because I ended up going and like, I liked them, so I bought him. But I told my sister, I'm like, I'm naming him. And they're like, what's the dog's name? I'm like, Todd. And they're like, oh, okay. So, and I was thinking Fox and the Hound. And like, for some reason, I didn't think of Copper. I thought of Todd, the fox. And then, but now, you know, his personality is totally what you would expect out of something named Todd. He's very he's smart, but he's fucking, he's just dopey. He's a smart, dopey dog. And just he's got a cone head. For some reason, he never outgrew the cone on those labs that labs get. And
Cal also he kind of has a cone. He has a pointed like little thing right here.
Yeah. Todd, he's turning 10, and like even the groomers and the vet are like, how old is he? I'm like, he's like 9.5. And they're like, he seems like he's 5.
You said what color is he?
Black.
Does he get any gray then?
Yeah, right around. He's getting gray on his face. He's getting around his mouth, but he just doesn't act like an old dog at all. He's just very puppy still.
Got a little goatee going on.
Got his little goatee going on. He's still very much like a puppy, but he's an asshole too. My wife's like, he's mean to other dogs, and I don't understand how, because he grew up around other dogs. I've taken him to parks. He's been around other dogs. I just don't know what happened where he just does not like dogs of his size. Small dogs, he tolerates.
Is he neutered?
He got older. He's grumpy.
He's neutered.
I don't know.
And my wife's dog, he's a border collie Aussie Shepherd mix. He's deaf, partially blind and a little bit, on the handicap side. And he doesn't understand anything. And so my dog Todd hates him. He treats him like shit. He'll drink all the water so he can't have it. He humps him. He eats his shit.
Ew.
First time they ever met, Todd attacked him.
Fuck.
And I was just like, at first I was like so upset because I thought my dog was never going to get along with hers and that like our relationship wasn't going to work because our dogs didn't get along. And I was like, dude, this will suck if I can't fucking date this chick because my dog's a prick. So I forced him to get along with the other dog, and he tolerates him now, but every time, and I've seen him do this. So Todd will sit down here in the basement right next to me, and he'll look at the door, and Oliver, who's the other dog, will be upstairs moseying around doing whatever he does, but he'll sit here and he'll wait for him. And the second he comes in, he humps him. He literally sits there and lies in wait to hump this dog.
He's a serial humper. That's a
so fucked up.
problem.
Yeah.
My puppy is just getting into the humping phase. Yeah, that was traumatic. It's anything, dude. Hasn't happened to me yet, thank the Lord. But yeah.
Todd doesn't hump anything but the other dog.
He what?
Todd doesn't hump anything but the other dog.
Maybe he's a little.
Your dog is a rapist, dude.
Dude, he's mean. He's just and then like because Oliver is blindish and completely deaf. He doesn't understand how toys are. He doesn't care about toys. He likes to run around, and because he's a border collie, he nips, right? So he's a herding dog. Todd fucking hates that. Because when they go out and they start to play, like he's just barking and jumping and nipping and nipping and nipping, and Todd's just like growling at him, and he doesn't hear it. So he doesn't know when to stop, and then it's just like rah, gets on him. But like Oliver,
healthy though. It's good for dogs to be able to like correct each other.
Oh yeah, it's just
we
Oliver
can't do that in the same way they can.
Oliver doesn't understand it. He never picks up on
He's
it.
a little dense.
He's dense. He can't hear either. So it's like he's very special needs. He doesn't understand things. He's a very sweet dog. But he just doesn't know when to stop.
How old is he?
Same age as Todd.
Really? They're both old men. That's crazy.
So Oliver, because he's deaf and partially blind, he'll stand there and stare into space. And often he tends to look in the same direction as Todd. Todd will be laying there, and he sees that Oliver's just kind of like.
That reminds me of the Shane Gillis bit that he does about it's his uncle who has Down syndrome. Have you seen that? That reminds me of the bit where he like does the face of him just like
yeah.
Get that cheese, Dave.
Oh my god.
I'm not making him at night. I'm making him at night.
Yeah, that's shit. Dude, I saw him live. Oh my gosh. I drank a beer with him, hung out. Dude, it was fucking sick. I love that man. He's hysterical.
Shane Gillis
That's
is
what
great.
it reminds me of. Have you ever seen Secondhand Lion?
Secondhand
the
Lions?
two old men. Yeah.
Yeah.
Remember the two old
Yeah.
men? That's what your dogs remind me of. The two old men who are like super fucking like one of them
Grumpy. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what it reminds me of.
But yeah, Oliver, he'll sit there and he'll stare. He's just like, and Todd and Todd's like looking at him like, what the fuck are you looking at, dude? And Todd often,
you don't even know.
Todd often has like a toy by him, and he'll start growling at Oliver. Oliver doesn't even know he's doing it. He's just he doesn't even know what he's looking at. He's just like standing there spacing out. And Todd and my dog, and my dog takes it personally. I don't know why, but he takes it so fucking personally. But
That's so funny.
We got a little mutt who looks like the mix between the Taco Bell dog and a loaf of bread. And he just kind of waddles around everywhere. And now that we got stairs, he's got to like jump on each step. So he just hangs out, and he's a little doofus, dude. Like
That's hysterical.
it's kind of fun watching him walk around. because he has the best day of his life about 5 times a day. And I'm like, dog, I wish I was you.
Dude, I love like stupid dogs. I think they are the funniest thing ever. And dogs that have like, I don't know how to explain it. It's kind of like where they make like human facial expressions and stuff like that, but they're also like fucking just stupid. I love that shit. I love dumb dogs.
My parents.
You know why? Because
have
smart dogs know how to push your fucking buttons.
Yeah.
My fucking dog, dude. My fucking dog, man. He's like 18 or 19 weeks. It's like a couple months. I honestly, I don't know how many months that is, but I don't do math in public. But it's fucking, he is, I blame myself because I cuss a lot, okay? So in turn, I raised a puppy who also cusses a lot, and him and I will sit there just cussing each other out all the time, man. He's a biter too. He bites the fuck out of me. But like not in a sense to where it's like aggression, it's just how he plays. Dude, I thought I lost a nipple one time. He bit me right in the tit, man. Right in the fucking titty, man. I thought I lost one for the count. I didn't.
That's funny.
But it was crazy. And then ever since I gained some weight, I have like a little bit of fat on my rib cage. He bit like a whole chunk yesterday.
Oh,
Took a huge chunk of my rib cage, dude. I about lost it.
thankfully Todd doesn't do this to me at all. Oliver will.
He's also a puppy, man. And I've tried everything, dude. I like hold his mouth shut. That was the worst probably motion I could do for that. But that's how I do it. I hold his mouth shut. I bop him on the nose. Like, you know, I pin him down. Like I show dominance, and like no matter what, he's like, yeah, no. Nice try, mom. You're pathetic. It's horrific. It's like no matter what I fucking do.
Yeah. Oliver, he's a herding dog, so he doesn't have a herd to herd. So he likes to herd us.
Yeah.
And what he'll do is like when you're cooking or whatever, he'll follow you around and then he'll stand behind you and then kind of look away. And you don't know he's there. So like you trip over him a lot. Like if I get up to go to the bathroom in the middle of the night, he gets off the couch, follows me, stands there in the bathroom and stares at me, and then walks me back to my room. He's a
That's
fucking
little escort though. That's so cute.
I know.
Aw, he's just like
That's how my parents Aussies are. They got a mini and a toy, right? The mini is
Australian
Scouts.
Shepherd?
Yeah.
Or what? Okay.
So Scout's obviously the bigger one. He's the smart one. And he like you can have a full-fledged conversation with this dog. I'm not shitting you. Like if he needs something, you can go down a list and he'll just be like, no, yep, give me that.
How does he say no?
And he just stares at you like, are you a fucking idiot? That's not what I want.
And then when you say what he wants,
he
gets vocal when you say what he wants.
Yeah, and then he lets out like and you're like, oh, okay, cool, let's go do that.
Todd's the same fucking way.
Yeah, and he herds you around. He follows you around. You know, like whenever they'd throw parties and people would bring their kids, he'd like follow the kids around and just kind of nudge them with his nose and like herd the kids around like they're fucking sheep. And then the smaller one, River, he's kind of stupid. About 3 weeks into having him, he got hit by a car. Thankfully survived. I felt bad because it was under my watch. He slipped his collar and ran out into traffic on a main road. Got hit by a car and was like twisted in a ditch. I was like, I just killed my mom's dog. Fuck.
No.
This dog's dead.
Didn't be laughing, but this.
And like it was like looking back on it, it's funny. His nickname now is Speed Bump. So, but he ended up being fine.
Dude.
Like 3 days later, after being in the vet, and they were like, "Oh, he's a little banged up, you know, a very minute bit of internal bleeding, and it fixed itself and everything like that." He gets back to the house and he's running around like nothing happened. But ever since then, he has a lazy eye.
Oh, so
he's got one eye that's kind of off. And I told my family so many times, I'm like, he has a fucking lazy eye. It's just minute.
You need to send me a
like,
picture of that.
I gotta find one. I'm sure I can get one for my family.
So River has brain damage, is what you're saying?
Oh, dude, yeah. This dog is stupid, dude. Like, he is not smart. He tries to be smart, but he's not. And but it took me months of convincing my family, being like, look into his eyes when he's just staring off into space. One eye just ever so gradually shifts, and he's just. But he's the most lovey-dovey thing. Like, he no shit gives you hugs. He jumps on top of you, puts his paws on your shoulders, grips his nails into your shoulders, and puts his face on your face. And he does that every night before bed and every morning when it's time to wake up.
That's so sweet.
Cutest dog ever, but he's an idiot.
Dog, that's so cute.
My neighbor has Akitas, and
Has a what?
Akitas.
How do you spell that?
Akida. They're very, very aggressive dogs. But
Apparently, it's also a Japanese restaurant in Richmond, Virginia. It's a sushi restaurant.
oh well,
Akita.
definitely not a restaurant. But Akitas are basically like a husky, but not.
Oh yeah, I know. They got the tail.
They got the tail, they got the fur. They're Arctic dogs, but they are fucking mean. If
Are
you're
they
not,
really?
yes, they will fight other dogs and they will attack other people. If they don't, except for the owner. Like if the owner, whoever their owner is, they're very owner protective, and they look at everybody like a threat. Except for this one, the one that my neighbor had, and I say had because I found out the other day that his dog, like the Akita, got out and got hit by a car in our street, and I didn't even know. Like my wife texted me, she's like, "Oh, Hercules died," and I was like, "What?" And he was like the sweetest Akita I've ever met in my life. Because I used to have one when I was a kid, and that dog was fucking mean. And the other dogs, like, they eat through the fence to get at my dogs. Yeah. Like, I've had to put a chicken wire fence at my neighbor has to keep replacing parts of the fence. Because my dog will go over to the fence, his dogs go over the fence, and they go at each other through the fence, and it's a wood fence. But his dogs eat their side of the fence to pull panels off. And there's been times where their whole head would be through the fucking fence, and then our dogs are getting after each other through the fence. So I've had to put chicken wire to keep my dog from going at the fence. And of course, Oliver, being deaf and blind, he's usually oblivious, and he follows what Todd does. So now by instinct, Oliver will go to the fence and start running back and forth and barking, and he doesn't know why he's doing it. He just knows that his brother does it. And that's a thing now. So that's what he fucking does. But no, yeah, the Akitas are fucking mean.
They also have a lifespan of 10 to 15 years. They're from the mountains of northern Japan, which is really, really cool.
Mm-hmm. They're kind of like Shar-Peis are also an Asian dog. They're also very aggressive.
Historically, they were used by Madagai for guarding and hunting bears.
Yep.
That's cool. Apparently, they're really intolerant toward young children, though, and difficult to train.
Yes. They're aloof. They're difficult with children. They're intolerant of children is a massive one.
The first video when you look up Akita is "Don't get an Akita."
Yeah, don't get an Akita. Anyway, so
crazy.
Whiskey, you were a Marine. What was your job in the Marines?
Toter ma.
What?
Toter ma.
Motor T.
Okay.
Drug trucks.
I was gonna say, Blake, translate this for me.
Dude, I think the denseness of one of your dogs rubbed off on you.
Toterma. I've never heard of. I've heard
Toterma.
Motor T. I didn't know Toterma. Is that what you guys?
Toterma. That's what we call ourselves.
No,
Toterma.
Toterma. Blake was infantry, so he was an infantry
I
man.
got misidentified. Okay, I can't believe I'm about to say this, but I got misidentified as a fucking Motor T person because my fucking command made me learn how to drive a fucking school bus. So I had to take some dudes from one of our other companies out to the range and then back at like 2 a.m. And they get on the bus and I hear the dudes right behind me. They're like, "Oh, this fucking Motor T guy must be great sleeping in your barracks, huh?" I was like, "Fuck you, I'm in golf company, bitch. I don't want to be here either." And they're like, "Oh, sorry."
I've never met a single person that was Motor T that actually liked it. My buddy, he was like, "I'm gonna be infantry." I'm like, "You don't get a choice in that." And he was like, "I'm gonna be fucking infantry," and he ended up being Motor T. And going to Okinawa and shit. So what made you want to join the Marine Corps? Everybody has a reason why they joined.
My mom.
Was she a Marine?
No, I'm a first generation Marine. My mom wasn't even military. But my mom was a single mom, so growing up, like, it was just her and I, and we like Section 8 housing, you know, the whole shebang.
Mhm.
And I wanted to make her proud because I knew I fucking didn't want to go to college. And I didn't really want to do a trade per se. And then I had a bunch of my high school teachers. Granted, I was a pretty shit student. Okay, I didn't give a shit about fuck.
I think every single one of us that joins the military is a really bad student.
Yeah, but it's just crazy now because I love learning now. But I think it's because I learn on my own terms, which I think is better. But I had a lot of like teachers like make it out like I'm not gonna do anything with my life and all that stuff. So I wanted to prove them wrong, but mainly it was to fight for my mom. Like she fought for me because she was working 3 jobs for years to just put food on the table for me and take care of me. So I was like, I'm gonna make you proud, and I did. So I just joined the Marine Corps, especially because everybody was like, yeah, it's the hardest branch, and everybody's like, oh, you can't do it. I fucking did it. I did it. Get fucked, nerds.
Fuck yeah.
I also joined the Corps because of my mom, not for a cool story like that. That's pretty awesome, but because I was between the Navy and the Marines, and she goes, "You can't do the Marines. You'd never make it." I went, "Watch this," and then I did and joined infantry. And she was like, "You're gonna die because I told you couldn't do it. Damn it."
Damn.
My
I
mom
feel like a
told me
lot of
never
us
to
have
do
it
it.
out of spite too. Like obviously there's wholesome reasons why people join, like the military in general, but it's like specifically the Marine Corps. Half of it is out of spite because like, oh, I'm gonna prove you wrong. You're gonna tell me I can't hold my beer. Watch this.
I went to I went to a Marine Corps recruiter. My mom told me never to join the Marine Corps. Because she dated a Marine and he was not a good guy. So she associated with Marine Corps with him. And but I wanted to join the Marines, and oddly enough, it was very stupid. But like the movie Battle
Battle Los Angeles.
Battle Los Angeles, and
Great movie.
Battlefield 3, believe it or not. I was like, you know what? I'm going to go talk to a Marine Corps recruiter. So I go into the recruiter's office, and they're like, what brings you in today? I was like, I was thinking about joining the Marine Corps. And he's like, thinking about? There ain't no fucking thinking about. You either want to be a Marine or you don't want to be a fucking Marine. And I'm like, I don't want to be a Marine. And I walked out because I was like, I'm like, you sound like an ignorant fuck. I'm going to go talk to the fucking army now. So, yeah, and then I joined the army. But any deployments, or what years were you in?
I was in for like 2 years.
Oh,
I got out early.
What year?
I got out in April of 2020.
Oh,
Right
shit,
when...
you recently got out. I didn't realize that. I thought you got out around the same time I did.
No, I got out like right when COVID hit.
Ooh.
Like 2 weeks after, and I didn't think I was gonna be able to fucking go home. It was right when we had no idea really what it was, and we had to wear like the face masks and shit, but like the ones that they gave us. Like the military issued ones for like the cold or whatever.
Oh, yeah, okay.
You know what I'm talking about? Yeah, we had to fucking
The net
wear
gator.
those all the time.
The net gator.
Yeah, that's what it is.
I thought you were gonna say
uncomfortable as fuck. I hated that
I
shit.
thought you were gonna say the NBC masks. Can you imagine people walking around in full mop gear?
That'd be low-key badass, though. I wouldn't have hated that. I mean, it'd probably be way more uncomfortable, but at least I'd look cool doing it. Straight out of Lethal Company, man. Fuck it.
When that stuff hit, we had a mix of people wearing their net gaiters, and we would cut sleeves off of our skivvy shirts and wear those around our head as a mask.
Really?
Crazy.
Yeah,
Y'all got
'Cause
creative with it.
we were like, whatever. It was so dumb too, because like it started this whole like, okay, now we have to have duty at the chow hall and the gym to make sure people are wearing their masks inside of the facilities.
How stupid.
And I got stuck on chow hall duty one time, and we were sitting there telling people, just put your mask on, dude. I don't want to be here. And some people would get attitude, and it's like, dude, I don't want to be here, bro. I don't. I know that you're gonna walk in and immediately take it off whenever you sit down. Trust me, I know it's stupid, but I gotta be here, or else I'm getting in trouble. Just fucking do it, please.
Please put your mask on.
It was.
Dude, I
Just do it, man. Do it
remember
for me.
because my mom drove and picked me up from, I was in Missouri. My mom drove and picked me up from Ohio, which is where I'm like still at. And the drive home, it literally was like a fucking apocalypse. I mean, it was freaky. Like everything just seemed dead. It
There's
was
nobody
really,
outside.
really fucking weird.
Mhm.
No.
I was working still, so I was working as a pipe fitter in construction, and I loved it because there was never traffic, and it was great. Like it was just nobody was out anywhere. It was awesome. The only thing that sucked is I had to wear a mask in a fucking 100-degree environment. That sucked. But yeah, dude, I was like, everyone's like, oh, we work from home. I'm like, what the fuck does that mean? Nothing changed for me. But yeah,
I loved it because we just had to do text accountability every morning for like a month. I golfed every single day. Just text at like 6 a.m. Hey, I'm alive. All my guys are alive. Okay, cool. You know, text us at the end of the day. Make sure everybody's alive. Just go to the golf course at like 10 a.m. every morning with a buddy of mine from another unit. We'd sneak out, make sure duty didn't see us leaving with our golf clubs and shit. All right, cool.
So I joined National Guard after I got back to duty, and my ETS date from the National Guard was May 2020, right when the lockdown started. So like I didn't have any final drill or anything like that. They just said, well, thanks for your service. We'll mail you your DD-214. Good thing you turned in all your gear already. I'm like, cool. I don't have to fucking come back. Hell yeah. And my brother, he was National Guard. He got the shit end of the stick. He got put on fucking COVID orders for 2 years. He was like living out of a hotel for 2 years, like distroing masks, doing all that stupid shit, moving COVID tests around. And he was like, for 2 whole ass years, he was on orders. And they were like, we're going to give you, he was on orders for so long that his unit started getting deployment patches. And I'm like, you were in Madison, Wisconsin. You weren't, why the fuck are you guys getting deployment patches?
Did they get hazard pay? Please tell me they got hazard pay.
I don't know. I don't think they did.
Oh man.
and he got injured several times when he was on these orders, and his fucking readiness NCOs fucked him because he's trying to file for disability because he tore his knee, had to have knee surgery, tore his shoulder, all this shit that happened when he was there. And his fucking readiness NCO is like, you're not going to get disability for this. And then didn't even put it, because in National Guard, it's different. You have to put in like a whole ass paperwork for things that you want to claim. And his readiness NCO just never submitted him. So he's been going through getting buddy letters and all this stupid shit to try to get his VA claim done. That sucks. Yeah. So what have you been doing since the Marin crops?
I call it that too.
Do you really?
Well, when I first got out, I'm trying to think of the timeline. I'm pretty sure what I was doing was working on a ranch immediately when I first got out. Like,
Fun.
I think. Yeah, I did a little bit of training with horses, and stuff like that. It was really fucking cool, man. I love horses, and they're exactly what I needed when I first got out. Because I got diagnosed with, like, a fat number of things wrong with my brain. Talk about dense, man. Holy. But, yeah, no, it was fucking awesome. I loved every second of it. Until some stupid shit happened, and people were being stupid. Essentially. We'll leave it at that. And then I did a little bit of sales. I was really good at it, but I hated it because I felt like I was screwing people over, even though I really liked what I was selling. But it was really expensive.
What were you selling?
Black tar. No, I'm kidding.
I was gonna say, like, I'm like, you mean?
No, I was selling Cutco
pavement.
knives.
I hope you work for like a fucking blacktop company that just, you know, that did asphalting.
I really loved what I was selling. Why? Makes you feel good when that needle hits your arm, man.
Yeah,
it's like talking to, it's like kissing God.
It's Cutco knives, so it's cutlery is what I was selling, and I actually really liked the stuff. It was really high quality
Oh yeah,
stuff.
Cutco
Yeah.
knives. I know about this because
I still love Cutco.
my
Apparently I don't know what it is, but I liked it a lot.
my
I quit.
my cousin's wife. I didn't know who it was. I honestly don't think that it was actually them. But I got a text from my cousin saying like, "Hey, his son was like, he's like, hey, my like Dylan's starting up a fucking business. Like, you want to help him out?" I'm like, "Yeah, sure, I'll help him out." And I didn't realize that it wasn't actually my cousin. His number got fucking hacked, and it was Cutco knife shit. And I was like, "What the fuck is that?" I was like, "Hey, well, you're not actually my." The more they kept texting me, because they would not stop texting me, and the more I realized, oh, this isn't my cousin. And I texted him, I called him, and I was like, "Hey, someone's got your number and is texting me from your number trying to sell me shit." And he's like, "Uh-oh." So that's my experience with Cutco knives. So when you said that, like, you feel like you're screwing people, I'm like, yeah, Cutco knives.
Like I wasn't screwing people over. I just didn't like the feeling of it. Because keep in mind, this was still during COVID times. Cutco knives and like cutlery of high quality is a luxury. Okay.
It really
and
is.
A lot of people, like, it really is. Because, like, I mean, you can get like shitty cutlery for like $60 that'll do what you need it to do. It's just won't last that long. And you'll be fine. But like, it was during COVID, man, like during lockdown and all that shit. And I just felt so shitty because, I mean, people were losing their jobs. People were fucking, like, just really struggling so hard. And I was out here like, oh, hey, let me use you for a paycheck real quick. Like, no, I just felt so shitty doing it. I was really good at sales, but I hated it. I hated every second of it. And I quit. And then I was a full-time streamer for a little bit, for like a year and a half, 2 years.
And that's how you got into Regiment.
Yeah, on my 21st birthday, 12-hour stream. AIM Lab. Love AIM Lab. Still forever love AIM Lab. They followed me, gifted me a bunch of tier 3 subs, and like they followed me on my socials and all that stuff. And then Entourage and Perpski come into my stream while I'm like wearing a Bud Light cardboard cowboy hat and just ripping them back, dude. I was drinking from like noon to midnight. It was crazy. I was getting fucking hammered on stream, but I remember them coming in and they like loved me. They were just talking to me, chatting it up. And then they invited me to join Regiment. Then like a couple months later, I got invited to the original stream team. And then Chris wanted me to be a manager. And then within a month from that, I got promoted to director.
Nice. Hell yeah. It's funny. I noticed that a lot of the people that are like in a staff position that got into Regiment all got into Regiment from like some goofy fucking stream they were doing. Me included. Like Doc found me because I was streaming in drag. And like he's like, "What is this?" And I was like, "Huh, hey, what's going on, man?" Like, and just like he's like, "Have you ever heard of Regiment?" And I was like, "Yeah, I think so." And then I'm gonna try to find a photo because I was straight up red-haired wig, lipstick, makeup, and all that shit. I was rocking this stream as a chick. I'm trying to find
makeup. Did you do your makeup?
My sister did it.
Oh, slay.
Yeah, so she did my makeup. I'm trying to find.
I see you have a bush latte.
Peach.
I
got a 30 rack the other day.
Bush latte.
You
I freaking woke up this morning and cleaned off my desk, and it was beer cans. Lots of bush latte beer cans.
Fuck yeah.
Been there. I used to allow my viewers to manage my drinking while I was streaming. Never again.
Like
dude,
fun.
I did the same fucking shit. People abuse that shit like crazy.
Dude. I mean, I made some coin doing it because I started making it expensive. I was like, "You're paying me $5 a beer, dude, if you're gonna have me drinking like this." And they're like, fuck it, here's 50, drink 10 now. And I'm like, oh fuck.
Dude, Doc was so bad. That's why I had to like change the price of how much a fucking shot would be, because I had like the do a shot redeem, and fucking Doc and my cousin would come in there, and both these motherfuckers would spam take a shot. My birthday was like probably the last time. Well, one of my big streams I did was on my birthday, and it was when I was with my ex, and my sister was there. No, my brother and my ex were on the stream with me, and it was literally one after another, and I did shots of whiskey. Like I don't do shots of like, I don't bitch out on shots.
How many shots did you do?
It was over half a bottle of Jim Beam was gone, so. I was sitting there playing. I was playing Warzone or whatever the fuck, and I was like, I can't play anymore.
Yeah. It's the worst feeling, because you're like, you go from like, I'm having a great time to I can't see the screen. There's two of them in front of me, and I don't know what's going on.
I gave the controller to my brother, and I said, I was still live, and I handed my brother the controller, and I was like, you can finish the stream for me. And I went to bed. I didn't even finish my own stream. My brother finished it for me. I was sloshed.
I had to put my shots up to $25 a piece, and I had someone come in and give me 100, and they were like, do 4 right now. And I did tequila on top of like a bunch of other beers that people were having me drink. And I was like, that was like the stream that I was seeing double. I think I was playing Elden Ring. It was like very early into me streaming. I was playing Elden Ring, and I was just like, I can't do this anymore. This is too high intensive a game for how drunk I am. I'm going to bed. Bye.
Oh my God. And you know the worst part about the whole redeeming shot for me? Yeah, I didn't even use bits. I used channel points. So I wasn't getting paid to do this.
Oh yeah. I can't. I couldn't. I tried that once, and they had me put down a 12-pack within like an hour and a half.
Fuck no.
I think that stream lasted an hour. Hour and a half, but like 2 hours. And I was like, oh my God. I gotta go.
Fuck that, dude.
The most amount of shots that I took, that I kept count of, was the Regiment birthday bash, the very first one. Hatfield, love that man, okay? But holy fuck, him and his Jaeger bombs, dude. I had like 18 back to back, and Mango and I, we were fucking, dude, it was so bad. We were so hammered. I was shit-faced, dude. I was fucking shit-faced. It was so bad. I had so much fun, though. Great time. Couldn't shoot pool for shit, though.
Jaeger makes my mouth water in like in a I'm gonna throw up kind of way.
Yeah, me too. Me too.
Did you say couldn't shoot pool?
Yeah, because we ended up going to Jimmy B's, which is this restaurant/bar. They have a couple pool tables there. I love shooting pool. Okay, it's one of my favorite fucking hobbies. But I am like, after a shot is when I'm really good. After 10 shots, I can't fucking, like, I can't see anything. Like, it just looks like a ball pit on the pool table. Like, it's so bad. I was hammered.
Last year, it was a 9 a.m. Jags game last year. They were playing in London, and me and my buddy went to this bar. They were doing
kind of like today,
all you can drink mimosas. Yeah, it was all you could drink mimosas at this bar. So we go there and we pay the fee. There were so many people in the bar that we drank all the champagne in the bar. So we got maybe 3 out of it. And then they gave us like a free shot to compensate, because they're like, we know you know, we're hoping to get more. Game ended. We bar hopped all day, and then went to a gas station, and we were like, fuck it, let's not Uber. Let's walk back home. The walk back home is like 8-10 miles. And we're like, fuck it, let's go get a beer from the gas station and walk. Okay. So I get 2 Twisted Tea tall boys, which is where I really fucked up. I got through the first one, blacked out in the middle of the walk. Got through the second one. I think I stopped to throw up, And then as we're walking, I come to a little bit, and we walk past this place called Cue Ball. So it's a pool hall. And I was like, let's go in there. Let's shoot some pool. All right. I black out when we walk in, and I don't come to until we are walking past this kava bar. And I was like, let's try that. And then blacked out again. Come to find out, when we got to the pool hall, I whooped his ass. And he usually beats me like every time. I fucking whooped his ass. And he FaceTimed my girlfriend and was like, look at this motherfucker. And I'm like cross-eyed, I don't remember this. And he's just like, he keeps running the table on me. I don't know what's going on. No recollection. But apparently I did great. Anyway, you said couldn't shoot pool for shit, so it reminded me of that story.
Yeah.
I can't shoot pool as it is.
I'm a decent shot. But yeah, it's like it has to be like after a couple beers and a shot is when I'm like starting to do really good, because that's when like I don't overthink my shots.
My dog is in here, and my wife's trying to get him to go away.
You just petting him.
I'm just petting him. Okay, now he's gone.
Okay.
Bye, Todd.
I was gonna say you should
Bye,
do
Todd.
a little. Show us Todd.
I would have,
Yeah.
but he fucked off. I don't know what you.
I
How'd you
can
bribe
show
him?
you guys Cal if you want.
Go get him.
If you want to see him.
Yeah, go get him. Go get him. We're gonna start talking about outer space and scary facts about it soon.
Okay.
Space has been a thing that you saw the nebula I sent you, right?
Yeah, I did.
So that was like a little bit enhanced because like through the camera it didn't really show the color that well. But seeing it, dude. So that nebula, for your reference, if you ever want to get curious and actually use like binoculars or whatever to see this on a really night dark sky, because you're in Utah, and I know you got some good fucking sky viewing there.
Yeah.
And it's maybe like 40 minutes away from the city, you have dark skies. Oh, look at that puppy. That's a nice.
No.
Look at that spaniel. I'm just kidding. It's he's
Little
a
dog.
how the fuck do you
Little
say the name of
dog.
that dog again?
He looks pissed.
Monsterlander.
No, I just woke him up. Hey,
Bird
go
dog.
play.
He's like, mm-mm. He's like, I'm not
You
looking.
got them,
No.
get them pretty brown eyes.
That's cute.
So anyway, we were so all you really need is like a little bit of a zoom, but if you're looking at Orion, right? So you know how Orion has the belt? So if you're looking at Orion, there's the belt and then there's the bottom leg. The only star, the bright star that you see on Orion's leg, that's the nebula. That's not actually a star. That's a nebula. Also,
That's cool.
the third star on the Orion's belt, the one that's the lowest, that is also a nebula. So like we were looking at it and stuff, and we went out there like, what time was it, babe? 1 o'clock in the morning. So we went out at 1 o'clock in the morning so we could see this fucking nebula. And yeah, it was totally worth it. We saw Mars, we saw the nebula. We tried finding the Andromeda galaxy again, but the fucking started getting cloudy and the moon was drowning it all out. Cool shot of the moon though, because the moon is like now it's starting to no longer be a full moon. So like the shaded part, you can really see the mountains and the craters on the moon. It was fucking wicked. So
That's awesome.
Whiskey, you saw the nebula that I posted in the staff chat, right?
No.
Yeah, so if you look in the staff chat, I took a photo of that through my telescope.
You have a telescope?
Yeah,
go.
I have a telescope.
I'm gonna go use the bathroom.
Go pee-pee.
Tell her about the nebula.
So me and my
That's so sick.
me and my wife are getting into the hobby of astronomy and actually studying space and shit. So we got this telescope. Let me kind of fucking show you the photo of this thing. This telescope that I got is a fucking monster. I'm gonna send it in this chat that we're in. So this big fucking telescope is the one that I got. Let me show it to the chat. So this thing is an Apertura 10-inch Dobsonian telescope. This thing is fucking gigantic. It's like almost as tall as my wife. And then some of the photos that we took of, like, you'll see the nebula. There's a comet. The middle photo where it looks like just kind of like a fuzzy star in the middle of it.
Yeah.
That's the Andromeda Galaxy.
What's that?
That's the galaxy that neighbors us. So this little fuzzy spot in the middle, that's our neighboring galaxy. And then you have the comet, which is obviously, you can see the comet, but here's the fucking nebula. I'm going to open this in the browser for the chat to see. So this is what's called the Orion Nebula. This nebula is, when you're looking at Orion, you got the belt, you got the leg. The bottom leg is a nebula. That's what it looks like. So that star is not one star. It's a cluster of 4 stars, all kind of around each other. So if you don't know what a nebula is basically just a bunch of dust, clouds, and gas. That's what creates a star. Because the sun is actually made of hydrogen gas. And it's just super dense and super hot because it's so dense and compressed. That's why it burns. That's why it's hot and bright. That's what makes a star. Gases and other particles that become compressed into a center point that create the gravity of it, and it gets so intense that it heats up and burns like a star, and it becomes a star. And that's how a star is born. What's up, guys? Regiment in this podcast is brought to you by G Fuel, the ultimate energy drink for gamers. G Fuel uses a special blend of vitamins, antioxidants, and other natural caffeine resources to keep you from having those jitters or even that crash that you normally would have from other energy drink brands. So whether you're having a long gaming session or you're just having a long day and need a pick-me-up, G Fuel definitely has you covered. G Fuel also has a wide array of flavors to choose from. But if you don't know what flavor you want to try, they also sell variety packs on their website, and they even come with a cool shaker. So head on over to gfuel.com and use promo code Regiment at checkout to get up to 30% off. That is Regiment, promo code Regiment down here at checkout to get up to 30% off.
Rock, I want you to know that you are my personal Bill Nye.
Am I?
The Brock space arc is one of my favorites so far.
So, like,
you teach me something new
space
all the time, and I'm like, oh, this is cool.
Space has always been like a huge passion of mine. I just never really get to talk to anybody about it because
I think it's interesting.
It's interesting, but a lot of people don't care. That's the other thing that sucks. Like, so like even my wife, she's starting to understand why like I was always so sad about space stuff or never talked about it, because she was just like, I have no one to talk to about this, and it makes me sad. And the truth is, a lot of people just don't care. So that's why we're going to talk about space shit today. Because it's not only fascinating, but it's fucking terrifying. All the things that are out there within the universe. I don't think you guys realize just how lucky we are that we exist.
Mm-hmm.
There are, for every grain of sand on Earth, it is 1 billion planets in the universe.
Mm-hmm.
So for every grain of sand that you pick up equals 1 billion planets that exist in the universe. There are more planets than there are grains of sand in the universe. And that's if you count 1 billion planets per grain of sand. Incomprehensible, right?
Mm.
And only one that we know of has life, and that's ours.
I thought they discovered that Mars had life.
No, Mars...
Or had like the potential to have life.
Signs of water or something. At one
so
point.
Mars is a candidate of what potentially could have held life. The only reason why it's not is because Mars doesn't have an atmosphere. It has a small atmosphere, and it's very, very, very thin, and it's mostly carbon dioxide. But because the atmosphere isn't enough to actually like hold in heat and carbon, it's cold all the time. So there's ice caps on Mars. The north and south of it has ice caps. Also, our planet only has life because of something very special that we have. That's called the magnetosphere. So a magnetosphere is what causes the north, like magnetic north on your compass. So the Earth is a giant magnet, and we have this atmosphere around us called the magnetosphere, and that's what causes the northern lights. So the northern lights are actually an ionic reaction from solar flares and solar winds, which, if it not been for the magnetosphere, we would have been baked alive by the sun. Like, life would not exist on Earth. So we have this really thin little layer around Earth that protects us from getting microwaved all the time. So
I like it.
yeah, so the sun is constantly shooting shit at us, and the only reason why we don't die is because we have this cool magnet in our Earth. And the only reason why we have it is because of what our core is made of, and the fact that our core moves causes the magnetic sphere.
Sun's just shooting loads.
This is
killing
fucking
everything but
the
us.
sun. The sun is literally just bricking out loads at us, and like we just
Dude, the sun literally is everybody's op. That's insane.
yeah, the
Mhm.
sun is literally trying to kill us at all times.
Mhm.
And the reason why, like, so solar flares happen, and it takes about 8 days for the solar flare to actually affect Earth. So the reason why is because the way that light works, right? So one of the fun facts, and we're going to actually go over this right now. So the first article I sent you guys was called the 10 scary space facts that may change your thoughts about space travel. So
I was reading through those.
yeah, well, we're go over them together. So number 10 is gamma ray bursts. We actually did see one of these just recently, and gamma rays tend to come out of black holes. So a galaxy explodes. It releases a massive burst of gamma rays, powerful enough to completely annihilate any planetary bodies in its path. So basically, a gamma ray is just like a fucking ray that shoots out of a black hole, and it destroys anything in its path. The one that we just recently observed is larger than 10 Milky Way galaxies combined in a
How
row.
big is the Milky Way galaxy?
The Milky Way galaxy, let's look. How big is the Milky Way galaxy? So the thing about space is you got to consider is that you can't measure through just distance. You measure through time and distance, which is light years. So it would take us, I think, 40,000 years to go 1 light year. Our closest galaxy is 4 light years away. So hang on, let's see. How wide is the Milky Way? The Milky Way is 105,700 light years.
How do they know that?
Because they measure just the measurement of light. There's a lot of shit that goes into the measurement of light that I still don't really understand. So basically how light works, you got to think of light as like a physical thing. So when light shines, let's say someone turns on a light in space, a sun just pops up, right? Imagine that is 1 light year away. It would take it 1 whole year of Earth time for that light to show for us. We wouldn't see it. So every star that you see in the sky is actually not the light of the star in its current state. Most of those stars are dead and gone. They've gone supernova already. We just haven't seen it yet. And the reason why we haven't seen it yet is because they're so far away, the light that travels to us from it, hasn't reached us yet.
Mm-hmm.
So there's going to be, one of the facts on here is that there's going to be some point where the entire night sky is black. There are no stars. And that's because...
And it's going to happen in our lifetime?
No. It's going to be a couple billion years from now. Like, none of the shit that you're going to see that's, like, horrifying will happen in our lifetime. It's just crazy that it does happen. So the gamma ray bursts. So according to a 2018 research, a gamma ray burst will occur in the Milky Way once every 5 million years. The only reason this fact is so low on our list is because these bursts are very likely to occur a huge distance from Earth, so we'll be safe from any direct contact or any possible side effects from the radiation of it.
So how did people find out about that at all?
You see
if
it
it's like once every 5 million years.
So-
Like, how do they know that time frame?
So when we actually observe out into space and we actually do observe the light, we do see patterns of where light is or where light was. Based off of what we have observed is all where that data is coming from, and a lot of it is just mathematical stuff, mathematical formulas. I'll give you an example. Neptune was not discovered at first because we saw it. It was found through a mathematical equation. Was it Neptune or Uranus?
Is math even real though?
Oh yeah.
Everything's a
Because, like,
construct.
people just made it. I know, but I've
Yeah.
always found that, like, I'm a skeptic of everything. Okay. And, like, I don't know. It's just crazy to me that one day somebody was just like, shitting out numbers and then shitting out plus signs.
Do you,
and then,
so you know
like doing division. Like it's just crazy.
do you know where math was invented?
No.
Iraq.
Really? I thought you were gonna say Egypt.
Made school
Iraq.
so hard for me.
Mesopotamia.
So you're telling me I had 2 reasons to be upset at them while I was in high school?
Yeah, pretty much. But yeah, so like math and language was made by Iraqis back in the day, where Mesopotamia was what was originally known. The people of Iraq, when was this?
Fucking Saddam.
3000 BC. There's no inventor, but Mesopotamians did it around, 3000 BC.
Yeah, ancient
Sumerians, I'm sorry, not Mesopotamians, Sumerians, in the Babylonian era.
Well, it says the earliest known written records of mathematics originated in ancient Mesopotamia, specifically with the Sumerian civilization.
So I was right at first.
Yeah, you were. It's just there was other stuff too.
Yeah, so Mesopotamia is where they invented it, and the reason why they did it was because they were like the earliest form of scientists, right? They wanted to know how shit worked. They wanted to learn about like the stars, what makes stars, and how can we navigate them, type thing. So constellations were actually made to navigate the Earth because we didn't have compasses yet.
That makes sense.
So they used the stars for navigation because they knew that certain times of the year we would see different things in the sky. So they made the constellations as a map.
That's
So like the North Star.
The North,
right?
So kind of like the North Star, but also like you have all the constellations like Pisces, Orion, Pleiades, you name it. Those
that's
were,
what you're okay.
So those were people. Basically, all it is was they made a shape out of the stars that they could see, and they used it as a map so that people can guide themselves on expeditions. Because they didn't have compasses yet. They didn't understand about the magnetism of the Earth. They only found, I think, the magnetism of the Earth was made with compasses. I think it was like fucking 1400, 1300 or some shit like that. When they realized, like, why do magnets work? Oh, did you ever notice that the needle always points in this one direction? Maybe we can use that for navigation. So, like, you can use the stars and the compass to navigate yourself through oceans and shit like that. But star mapping and constellations was originally made to navigate. Not because it looked cool. There was an actual useful purpose behind it. So our next fun fact is the vampire star. So a vampire star can suck the life out of other stars. Scientifically known as O-type stars, vampire stars are enormous blue giants attached to much smaller stars that get consumed by their sheer gravitational pull. However, vampire stars don't last long. Once it consumes a smaller star, an O-type star explodes into a supernova. This is because much less mass and energy is accumulated that is known gravity literally tears it apart.
Is a supernova just like an exploded star, like a dead star?
A supernova is when a star actually explodes, yeah. And you know what follows behind them? Black
Meteors,
holes.
Right? Oh, fuck that! That's fuck no.
So I'll kind of break down what a black hole is for you. This is gonna be fun. So a black hole is after a star goes supernova. So how a star goes supernova is it expands. So as it gets less gases to burn, it expands to.
How does it happen though? Like, how does a star run out of gas?
Because it's constantly burning the gases within it. So imagine
how are stars created?
Through gas condensing and becoming so compacted that they heat up, and then they start to burn itself. And as it burns itself, it grows. And then once that burns out, it contracts again, but it contracts more and more and more and more. And then it gets so contracted that it can't hold the mass anymore. It goes critical, and then it explodes. And as a result, there's a remaining mass there that is so dense and heavy that it creates a gravitational anomaly called a black hole. And it just continues, and then like everything gets sucked into it, including light. Light can't escape a black hole, which is why it's called a black hole. And it just gets more and more dense. So imagine space is a sheet, right? Like a bed sheet. And imagine a ball bearing that drops into that sheet is a planet or a star. You notice how everything dips into it? That's gravity.
Mm-hmm.
That little divot right there, that is gravity. Everything's attracted to that little divot, and that's what causes gravity. Gravity is caused because of an object that has a dense mass in space-time that causes there to be a warp in space-time that causes orbit and gravity. Our Earth has mass within a time and space. That's why when you drop shit, it hits, because it's all going to the middle. All that mass is being accumulated to the middle of the Earth. So a black hole continuously grows in its mass, and it's so fucking heavy that it's imagine that little ball bearing is going farther and farther and farther and farther down the sheet. Everything is getting sucked into it. And the gravity is so intense that light is affected by it.
What's the closest Earth has gotten to a black hole?
We orbit one right now.
Can you explain that? I didn't pay attention in science.
So the Milky Way galaxy is actually, the center of our Milky Way galaxy is a supermassive black hole.
So there's multiple Milky Way galaxies? I thought there was just one.
Milky Way galaxy is just our galaxy. There are billions and billions, if not trillions, of galaxies out there that look kind of like ours, but aren't. So the neighboring galaxy, Andromeda, is a whole other star system and a whole other galaxy. So people think galaxy as in our solar system. No, our solar system is actually a star in that galaxy. So at night, have you ever been in a super dark sky and you see that weird cluster of stars streaking down the middle of it? That is our galaxy. That's the Milky Way. What you are looking at is the sides. So where we sit, imagine a plate, right? And imagine a little ball is on that plate. If you look one way and the other way, we are surrounded by this little line of just clouds and stars. And those things that you're looking at is actually our galaxy. And you can see at certain times of the year, the core of the galaxy, which is a supermassive black hole that we're going around. So we're not just sitting in one spot spinning around a sun. We're actually tilted like this, and we're spinning like this. We're moving through space like this. Our system and our star is orbiting around another massive, dense object, and we are spinning within that orbit too. So our solar system.
Because we're spinning so slow, that's why we're not like doing this every second.
We are spinning
because of gravity.
The Earth spins at 1,000 miles per hour.
What the fuck?
Yes. So the Earth is spinning on its axis at 1,000 miles per hour. That's what causes gravity. Our mass.
Because we're spinning so fast, we're just stuck.
Pretty much, like that causes 1G. 1G every time. Everything you experience right now is 1G, or one gravitational force. Whenever you ever notice that, like how pilots, when they're in planes and shit, when they do like a quick maneuver and like their faces drop and shit, they're increasing the force of gravity by doing that. What we experience every day is 1G. Now, we're moving so fast that if the Earth were to suddenly stop spinning, we would be catapulted at 1,000 miles per hour. Everything would be catapulted at 1,000 miles per hour.
Nice.
Nothing would survive. The oceans would flood, like not only that, but our atmosphere is spinning with us. So if the ground stopped moving, the atmosphere is still moving at 1,000 miles per hour. So we would not only would we be catapulted, but there would be 1,000 mile per hour winds. Our oceans would cover.
Be getting literally ripped to shreds.
Yeah, we would get ripped to shreds. Everything, buildings would be blown down. Mountains would be fucking, like the Earth would just start to break, and then the oceans would fucking flood everything. Eventually, it'll settle down.
Become a black hole, probably.
No, not us. We're not dense enough. Stars are the only thing that becomes black holes because of their density and what they're made of.
What would we become if that were to happen? Like
a molten rock. A molten,
dead.
just a dead fucking rock in the middle of space.
Holy
You think
shit.
I feel like if it were to stop suddenly, we wouldn't even experience it. I think we would just
Has
die.
anybody?
You'd be evaporated.
Yeah, it would happen so quick. I mean, 1,000 miles per hour getting fucking yeeted, dude. We wouldn't feel a thing.
Nope.
I feel like it'd be hitting.
Yeah.
It'd be like getting hit by a semi truck going 90 miles an hour and you didn't see it. It's just lights out.
Little Jax Teller moment for real.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. So
That's in chat for the boy.
So yeah, that's how fast we're actually spinning. And I think our solar system, how fast is our orbit around the sun? Let's see. I can't remember. I remember how fast. Thank you, honey.
He's faster than Mach then?
Maybe.
Like
So the Earth orbits the sun at a speed of 67,000 miles per hour. That's how fast we're moving around the sun. Like our orbit as we move like this is 67,000 miles per hour.
Holy shit.
Let me blow your mind again. How fast is the solar system? How fast is the solar system moving? We are moving 448,000 miles per hour in orbit around the center of the Milky Way.
That's like incomprehensible.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Welcome to space.
Wait, so I do have a question. Obviously, I have a lot of questions. But how do we know black holes exist? Is it because of the telescopes? We've seen them?
Mm-hmm. So if you look at most black holes when you look off into space is just a void of nothing. And if you really look into if you see the James Webb telescope, how there's almost never nothing. When you zoom into that dark space, there's more stars. But we see black holes because we zoom into that dark space and then we zoom in again and we zoom in again and there's nothing there. But
it's just like a hole in space, literally, and we don't know where all that shit's going.
Right. So,
that's terrifying. Are you fucking kidding me?
We don't know. Well, here's the other thing. We only know that black holes exist because things orbit them and we can't see what it's orbiting. So we look at stars and other shit as they orbit something, as they go around in an orbit, but we don't know what it is because it's not there. We don't see anything. But there's something there that has so much gravity that things are getting pulled into it and orbiting around it, but we can't see it. That's a black hole too. The other thing is we could see a black hole because of what it does to light. As it absorbs a star, the light of that star bends around the black hole. So the gravity is so immense that it captures light or warps it. So let's imagine like a beam of light. Once it goes near a black hole, that beam of light goes like this because the gravity of the black hole is so much.
There's probably so many conspiracies about what's actually inside of a black hole or where it leads to, but my first thought was what if it's another space?
See, a lot of people.
Wouldn't that make sense? Just trash from this space. What if it's multiple spaces and each black hole leads to a different outer space?
That's what some people speculate that they do. No one knows what happens in the black hole because you can never get data out of it. You can only see it.
Theories about time travel through black holes too.
How basically a black hole is a wormhole almost in a way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a lot. I really want some extraterrestrial being to just come down one day that's 50 feet tall and just be like, hey, you're wrong about fucking everything. So you think you got it? All wrong.
So there are things. So the theory of relativity.
I knew it.
What?
No, that's how I would be if an alien came down and was like, "Oh, you guys are wrong." I'd be like, "I fucking called it." Well, I knew it.
if black holes weren't terrifying enough, rogue black holes. So a black hole are equal parts intriguing and terrifying. They can consume entire galaxies and even bend space-time around them. So a black hole is not actually just a circle hole. It's a sphere because there is no front or back or left or right or up or down in space. It's all just it's space. It's a vacuum. A black hole is just a super dense object. So in every angle of that black hole, it looks like a black hole.
Dude, I'm literally gonna have nightmares from this.
So what could possibly make them more dreadful? Well, the fact that there is a giant rogue black hole moving through space at roughly 3 million miles per hour, of course. So B31745 plus 25, which is a fancy name, it was a black hole discovered by the Hubble telescope in 2017 and is about 1 billion times heavier than our sun. It is believed that this black hole broke away from after its galaxy collided with another galaxy and now freely travels through space. The only solace we can take is the fact that it's 2 billion light years away from us. So there's a black hole that's moving through space. Even more so, they estimate there's about 100 million black holes within our own galaxy that are just
so
flying.
how fast is this moving?
It is moving.
And how do they know it's moving?
Because they're observing it, so they can see. So basically, they measure the light of where it is every so often, and based off the time that has moved from here to here, it's a bunch of fucking physics math that I don't even know. But that thing is moving. How fast they say it was moving? 3 million miles per hour.
Oh, 3 million miles.
Now here's a really fun one that I like: the Great Attractor. 150 to 250 million light years from our galaxy lies a dreaded space anomaly called the Great Attractor, with a gravitational pull so powerful that it can pull entire galaxies toward itself and collapse them into each other. What's scary is that we don't know what it is. There's not even enough mass around it to account for the gravitational pull. So there's an empty vacuum of space that's pulling everything towards it. So if you look there's a video of it here. So while the Great Attractor is at a large distance from us, its intense gravitational pull makes it very likely we're on a crash course with it. While this won't happen for a few billion years, knowing the inevitable fate of our galaxy is still extremely haunting. So let's look at what the videos of the Great Attractor is. So where are you at? Local, so the Laniakea supercluster.
The Laniakea supercluster extends over 500 million light years across space and is home to more than 100,000 galaxies. It is so vast.
The Great Attractor is the next one.
The Great Attractor is the somewhat ominous name given to the gravitational focal point of the Laniakea supercluster, thought to lie somewhere around 250 million light years away from the Milky Way. And it is attracting the contents of the cluster towards it.
So if you look, if you're on that section and you look at the little thermal graph that he had,
it is attracting the contents of.
There's like a red spot, right, where everything's getting sucked into it, and they don't know what it is.
Wait, are you talking about on the right side of it?
No.
The
So
thermal graph
if you
had in the beginning?
if you go to the timestamp of 917, you can see all these star clusters being pulled into something.
The cluster,
and no one knows what it is.
Everything for hundreds of millions of light years is attracted
watch that shit that ass be aliens,
region, which means one of two things. Either there is an unusually high concentration of mass there, like an ultramassive or dense galaxy cluster, or perhaps something stranger, like a monstrous intergalactic black hole or a mysterious dark force which is counteracting the universe's expansion. In reality, it is likely to be the product of a dense galaxy supercluster, so massive that it is influencing the entirety of the Virgo supercluster as well as the other clusters around it. But whatever it is, there is one fundamental issue. We can't see it.
That's lovely.
Super cool, right? Now here's one that's actually the most realistic threat to us: meteors. So the most realistic threat to our planet faces is meteors. Over 100 million large meteorites exist in our solar system. Roughly 500 reach the Earth's surface annually. We have 500 meteors hitting Earth every year. They're just not big enough to do anything, or mostly burn up in our atmosphere. So, though most of them are either too small to cause serious damage, burn up in the Earth's atmosphere, or crash into the ocean. However, there has been cases of meteors crashing into the Earth and causing devastation. In 2013, a meteorite crash in Russia created a powerful shockwave that broke glass windows in cars and buildings in neighboring towns and cities, injuring 400 people in the process. But you didn't hear about that on the news.
Nope.
Of course, the most famous meteor crash is the one that killed the dinosaurs, though very unlikely if something like that were to happen again. There's nothing we could do to avoid it. So
we have like missiles and shit. Can't we just shoot it down?
No.
Why?
Because I don't think you. Because here's the thing. A meteor is moving through space so fast, and the object of it is so small. It's like shooting. It'd be like shooting an airsoft BB at an artillery shell. You're trying to hit it as it's moving.
How fast are they moving?
Let's look. So
is it like as fast as we're spinning?
So here's the thing. So there are different categories that make a meteor, right? So there's asteroids, comets, meteor. Was it a meteors? What's the other one? Meteorites. How fast is a meteor traveling?
I remember learning about this shit in school and being devastated, thinking we're dying tomorrow.
So
the apocalypse is here.
Meteoroids enter Earth's atmosphere at speeds of 27,000 and 90,000 miles per hour relative to the Earth. So like I said, on top of that, our ordnance is not strong enough to do anything to it because of what a meteor is made of. Meteors are typically made out of metal, like dense metal. Like, so you got, like, imagine a giant hunk the size of a fucking, I don't know. What's the biggest one in our system right now relative to the size of? Let's see. What's the largest meteor in our system? So the largest meteor in our solar system is considered an asteroid. It's called Ceres. It's a dwarf planet.
Oh.
It's the size of a planet. It's 950 kilometers in diameter. And now imagine that like, of rock and metal hurtling towards Earth.
That's
metal?
like Pluto hitting us.
I thought metal was...
Iron and nickel. It's funny to think because these metals that we find on Earth are actually not Earth. They're a lot of our meteors and asteroids in our system are made of the same metal as Earth. So a lot of the ores that you find on Earth, like all the precious metals that we have, the reason why they're on Earth is because they are Earth is the result of multiple meteors and shit colliding into each other and creating a giant mass that eventually caused gravity. And because it got more dense, it heated up, right? So because it's more and more compact, all the magma and shit is made of different metals. That's why our core is made of nickel and iron, molten nickel and iron. So all of the shit that comes and crashes into our Earth, the reason why Earth has all these metals is because it came from other shit in space. So other planets like Mars has some of the same metals that we have. Venus is the same way. A lot of the planets in our system, except for Jupiter, Jupiter and Saturn, they're gas giants. So there is no surface on Jupiter and Neptune. It's just a cloud. It's a spherical cloud of nothing, of dense gases and shit. So that's why there is no surface. Imagine you could go if you sent a satellite that wouldn't get destroyed into Jupiter, it would come out the other side because there's no ground.
It's actually pretty cool.
So another scary fact, a solar superstorm almost devastated Earth. A solar superstorm is a powerful geomagnetic phenomenon that arises from the stars like our sun and can disrupt the planet's gravitational and magnetic fields. Scientists call it a coronal mass ejection. That's a cool way to tell you that the sun is having a fucking cum shot. Aside from causing radiation poisoning in animals, it can also disrupt any electrical device exposed to it. In July 2012, a powerful CME was released by our sun. It crossed the Earth's orbit and hit the Stereo A spacecraft. According to the University of Colorado, had the storm come a week earlier, it would have hit Earth and caused a global blackout so devastating that we'd still be recovering from it today.
It's crazy how much like devastation that space can cause, and we've just gotten lucky.
We honestly have gotten lucky, especially if you consider what causes a planet to sustain life. Where we sit in the inhabitable zone in our system is such an anomaly within itself that if you look at every other planet around you that sit in an habitable zone, they might not have an atmosphere, they might not have a magnetosphere, they might not have shit. But it's like life-sustaining as we know it, right? So another planet could have life, but they don't breathe air. They breathe methane, which is what our farts are made of. So they breathe farts all day. You know, they don't even smell it. But our oxygen would be like a fart to them, basically, and they can't breathe it. Funny to think of, right? Another cool thing to think of is that our star our sun is someone's star in their night sky.
Mm-hmm.
What
I love
if,
that one.
like, you keep on saying that, like, there's inhabitable zones and how, like, Mars is inhabitable and stuff like that, or potentially could be. Um, I mean, that's inhabitable to us.
Right.
That's our makeup. That's not whatever else exists out there.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Just like the moon of Saturn, Titan. People think that Titan is the most likely thing in our solar system that could host life. And the reason why is because it has liquid lakes and rivers. But they're
What
not,
does that mean? What do you mean liquid lakes?
because it's
Like
not
how
made
what
of,
we have?
it's not, yeah, like how we have, but it's not water. It's methane. It's liquid methane. So it's an
fuck.
ocean of liquefied methane. Because if you think about what a gas is just a form of water, of liquid. It's just that the temperature allows it to become a gas. So if you look at steam is water in gas form. Right?
Yep.
Nitrogen, liquid nitrogen is so cold because gas nitrogen has to be that cold for it to be a liquid. So everything has a state, liquid, solid, or gas. Oxygen has liquid, solid, or gas. If you look at water is hydrogen and oxygen in a liquefied form.
So methane traps more heat in the atmosphere per molecule than carbon dioxide,
Yep.
making it 80 times more harmful than CO2 for 20 years after it's released.
Yep. So that's why Titan's
But
insanely fucking
that's
hot.
just toxic to us, though.
Right.
Like, I guarantee you there is beings out there that, like, our shit's toxic to them, but, like, methane, that's their normal shit. They're like, oh, yeah.
Exactly.
Let me drink some of this to get hydrated. You know what I mean?
And look
Like,
at you thinking like an
there's no way that
astrophysicist.
doesn't exist.
Look at you thinking like an
Yeah, like-
astrophysicist, because that's actually one of the theories, is that like we can't think of life as we know it. Of course, we know that things can't survive in that, but because if you look at what we consider to be life sustaining, has to have some kind of atmosphere and liquid. It doesn't have to be water. It doesn't have to be oxygen. It just has to be an atmosphere and liquid, so that those lakes and rivers could host life that survives in methane.
But even then, like, what if some things just don't fucking need an atmosphere to exist?
Right. Yeah.
Like, there's literally no fucking way that we are the only life. Like, I just simply do not believe that. I know it's like an
No,
anomaly.
we don't. We have more
or
life.
whatever, but that's, yeah.
There's life out there. There's no way that we don't. It's
Well, and
arrogant.
I also all this shit that, like, the Pentagon and because that's one of the things that you one of the links that you sent. I don't believe shit that they put out. I know that they hide quite literally everything from us, or they sugarcoat it, or they just make up lies. And that's what we know. And I think a lot of the conspiracy theories that are considered conspiracy theories aren't actually conspiracy theories. I think a lot of them are probably fucking legit. Because it would make sense. All this shit that doesn't make sense to us definitely makes sense. I guarantee you it does. You just have to think of it in a different perspective, and you're like, oh shit, like that can definitely be a thing. But yeah, I don't believe shit the Pentagon puts out
So
about like UFOs or aliens or anything like that.
a lot of astrophysicists have talked about like when the ones that are actively seeking like signs of another life besides ours. They try to keep an open mind because they know that life as we know it might not be for other life, because we have to go at it with an open mind that maybe things survive in other environments that we don't think they can. So like Titan, for example, we're open-minded about Titan because it's an environment that we don't think can sustain life, but there might be life on Titan that it can sustain that life. And that's why we want to see it. We want to go into that water or go into that methane liquid and see if there is shit living in it. How cool would that be?
There's gonna be shit living in it, 110%. There's no way.
I hope
There's
we
no
live.
way that
I
there's
hope we
not.
live to see that expedition happen.
Well, I mean,
We
even
won't.
then,
I
like,
don't think we will.
yeah, I don't think we will either. But I guarantee you, they know more than they're telling us. Because I mean, imagine, like, just fucking think about it like this, okay? Whenever anything happens on this earth, it insinuates some type of chaos, no matter what it is. It could be political, it could be COVID, it could be literally anything. There's always chaos wherever there's things we don't understand or can't comprehend. Though that's just the mass majority of people. So, like the government and every fucking government known to man, I guarantee you they know so much more than they're letting on, like NASA and SpaceX. They know so much fucking shit. They're just not going to tell us. Because, I mean, could you imagine telling billions of people, hey, by the way, we're not the only life. And there's aliens out there. And this black hole is actually a bunch of fucking aliens who are trying to get to Earth so that they can kill us all. You know what I mean? Like, watch it be some crazy shit like that. Like, you never know. And, like, why the fuck would they tell us that? Because then everybody would go rogue. Like, oh, the world's going to end anyways. Might as well not pay taxes or whatever the case may be, you know?
The like, being like, oh, by the way, we are researching aliens. And, yeah, we do believe that there's alien life out there. Has happened. Everybody just didn't give a shit.
Here's the thing, too. Here's
And
another.
I also don't think they would keep it in Area 51, especially because of how known Area 51 is. I know that place is more fucking secure than anything ever, but like they would not keep that shit. I mean, there's got to be like there's other places where they keep it.
Here's another theory that could potentially like change everything that we know about extraterrestrials. The thought of what if the life that's out there is actually from here, but they're an advanced civilization that once left.
Like Earth?
Yeah.
Love that theory.
That's a cool theory.
There are people that do think that the things that we're seeing, they're from here. They're just coming back because they left a long time ago. Now they're observing of what it became after.
How long ago is like are they thinking? Like
Thousands,
billions of years,
like
probably.
tens of thousands of years ago.
What if that's the missing knowledge from the Library of Alexandria?
That's the other thing, yeah. Because Matt, they've even said that like if hadn't the
Wait, missing knowledge from Library of Alexandria.
So the Alexandria, you know of Alexandria? Alexander the Great, when he was conquering, he created a city where it was like multicultural, where everybody came, all the world's scientists and everything all collectively came to one spot, and it was Alexandria. There was a great library there where all these scientists of their time collectively had their knowledge, all our books, the Pythagorean theorem, for one. Everything we know about physics is another one. What's the other ones that were there too? Fucking what's his name? Da Vinci too, right? Was Da Vinci then? Let me look that up real quick. Was Da Vinci shit in Alexandria? Yeah, Leonardo da Vinci created a sketch called this, which is wait, no, hang on. No, never mind. That's wrong. But anyway, there was a lot of scientific knowledge that was in the Library of Alexandria. They say that had that library never burned down, because the library burned down and we lost so much of that scientific knowledge, our the human civilization would be several hundred years more advanced than we are now.
Wait, when did it burn down and why?
Library, someone burned it down.
Like a conquered
Wait,
nation or something like that.
where? Where is it
Egypt.
at? Egypt?
Mm-hmm.
So somebody burned it down. I wonder if it was wait, when was it burned down?
So let's look here. The Library of Alexandria. I'm going to open up the Britannica. So, Library of Alexandria, the most famous library of classical antiquity, it formed part of the Research Institute in Alexandria in Egypt that is known as the Alexandria Museum. Libraries and archives were known to many ancient civilizations in Egypt, Mesopotamia, Syria, Asia Minor, and Greece. But the earliest such institutions were of local and regional nature, primarily concerned with the conservation of their own particular traditions and heritage. The idea of a universal library, like that of Alexandria. So this was a library collectively from all cultures, where they collectively came together to bring the knowledge of their cultures together. Only arose after the Greek mind had begun to envisage and encompass a larger worldview. The Greeks were impressed by the achievements of their neighbors, and many Greek intellectuals sought to explore the resources of their knowledge. There is literally evidence of Greek individuals visiting Egypt, especially to acquire knowledge. Herodotus, Plato, Theophrastus, Exodus of Cnidus, those guys. Against the background of avid hunger for knowledge among Greeks, Alexander the Great launched his global enterprise in 334 BC, which he accompanied with a meteoric speed until his untimely death in 323 BC. His aim, though, had not been restricted to conquering lands as far as Macedonia and as India, but has also been to explore them. So basically, this library had all this fucking knowledge, right? So when did it burn down? One of the major acquisitions of the library was that of the Book of Aristotle, concerning which were two conflicting accounts. I think even Old Testament was in there.
That's crazy.
Let's see. The library, let's see the growth of the library. The association of the library with the museum, whose scholars required a reliable resource, helped the library to develop a proper research center. Its location close to the harbor within a royal's palace grounds placed it under direct supervision of the kings. Those circumstances aided the rapid growth of the library's collection. Within half a century, its foundation, circa 295 BC, the collections of the Royal Library had exceeded the space allotted to contain the accumulated books. So estimates of the total number of books in the library vary. The earliest surviving figure from the 3rd century BCE is reported as more than 200,000 books, whereas medieval text of John Sedes mentions 42,000 books in the outer library. In the inner royal library, 400,000 mixed books plus 90,000 unmixed books. An estimate of 700,000 books was reported between the 2nd and 4th centuries. So there was also a registry. The fate of the library, the fate of that great wealth of books remains provocative and controversial. For centuries, the main point of contention was whether or not the library survived until the Arab conquest of Alexandria in the 7th century. In the 21st century, however, the topic has cooled down, and there's growth agreement that among serious scholars that both libraries had both perished long before the Arab conquest. Scholars further believe that there's enough evidence to show that the destruction of the two libraries occurred at different times. The Royal Library was a casualty of war. Julius Caesar became involved in a civil war in Egypt between Cleopatra and her brother. Caesar sided with Cleopatra and was soon besieged by the Ptolemaic forces by land and sea in the Great Harbor. He realized that his only chance to lay is setting fire to the enemy fleet, and it was by a drastic measure that he managed to gain the upper hand. Yet he is remarkably silent regarding the extent of the destruction because of the fire of the city itself. So Caesar, in order to win the war for Cleopatra, burned this fucking library down by accident. So let's see the Alexandria. The daughter library, protected by Serapeum, subsidized the 4th century as a long paganism survived. But when Christianity became the one and only religion acknowledged throughout the empire, Emperor Theodosius I and his zeal to wipe out all vestiges of paganism issued a decree in 391 sanctioning the demolition of the temples of Alexandria. So Christianity is why Alexandria burned down. You know, and they all say that Christians, they were the good guys. And we imagine where we'd have been as a civilization if Christianity didn't burn down the Library of Alexandria.
See,
It's not. No. Hold on. Pause. Christianity was not the problem. It was the people. Not Christianity. It was not Christianity.
Well, the Christianity became the only religion. All of these emperors.
Because people forced it to be that way. It was the people.
See, I think religion just destroys everything.
people are fucked up.
People are fucked up.
I think we all know that. People are just fucked up.
Look at the Crusades.
Yeah, it's the people.
The thing that fascinates me the most, that is like lost in it, isn't the scientific achievements and all the genius, right? What gets me is the personal experience of people of the time. Like, there are books that were burned that, like, most people find insignificant or are just, like, you know, made up fairy tales or something like that, like we have now in books that are lost forever, that we will never get a perspective into an individual's day-to-day life. You know what I mean? The slang
Or
of
like
the
their
time, like
imaginations either.
how they did exactly, like how they viewed the world. Like, obviously we get a good look into that through the texts that we do have, but on a I feel like it's on a grander scale and not on a personal level. I feel like Alexandria probably had a lot of personal, like, you know, this is life that I personally would find more interesting than all the other
stuff.
Like,
it was said that like the OG Old Testament was in there.
Yeah, which would have been amazing to be able to read.
Untranslate? You mean
that.
without? Yeah.
How would people? But if it was burned down, and like, how do people know?
So there was
there was the Old Testament, like the genuine, actual, like.
So
the real deal.
When it came, there was a part that I kind of glazed over, and it was the registration of books.
Oh.
So the registry,
was that not burned?
The registry, most of the registry survived. And that's why we know what was there. And based off of what we could what we could collect and save from that, for example, like a lot of the math books and shit, there was a good chunk of science and math that was saved, along with, like, you know, Old Testament and shit like that. There were stuff that was saved from the library, but there was so much more that was lost. So the registry was kind of put away, and that's why we know roughly of what was there. And the other thing was keeping copies of things. It wasn't like how it is now. It was very daunting to keep copies of things. Imagine having a fucking copy down like a 1,000-page book several times.
You had to rewrite that shit by hand.
You had to do it by fucking hand. And it was often how books were written, like scientific books and stuff. Someone was copying down what someone was saying.
Mm-hmm.
So it wasn't even just someone writing their notes as they're going. It was someone writing the notes as someone was telling them to them. So
like a scribe.
Right? Yeah. So more things that are terrifying about space again. Decompression. This one's fun. Of course, the most realistic way one could die in space is simply from the decompression or exposure to the vacuum of space. So for those that don't know, space is a vacuum. There's no air. There's no sound. There's only light. All that shit. It's just a vacuum. When an astronaut suffers decompression, the moisture or the oxygen of their body gets ripped out, causing their body to literally swell up and explode in an instant. In 1965, a technician at Houston's Johnson Space Center accidentally detached a hose in his suit while working inside of the vacuum chamber. This depressurized his suit within seconds, causing him to pass out. Thankfully, his coworkers were able to save his life in time. Though the man later stated he could feel his tongue boil as he passed out and was unable to taste anything for 4 days after.
Only 4 days, though? That's actually not that fucking bad. I thought that was going to be...
Could have been way worse. It really could be way worse. I actually told my wife about this. What happens to your body in space? What happens when you're in space without a suit? What happens when you're in space without a spacesuit?
It's like a vacuum. So you just... Like, don't you just probably get all shriveled up?
No, you expand.
What?
So, without a spacesuit in space, you would become... Fucking little thing. You become unconscious within 15 seconds due to lack of oxygen. Your blood and body fluids would boil and then freeze because of an extremely low air pressure, and your tissues would expand from the boiling fluids. You would face extreme temperatures and radiation exposure, and you could be hit by high-speed micrometeoroids or orbiting debris. So the reason why spacesuits are so protective is that they're pressurized on the inside, they provide oxygen, they regulate temperature, and they also have a Kevlar lining that keeps micrometeorites from shredding you. Because here's another little fun fact about being in space. There are small little fucking rocks flying faster than a bullet, always, through space. And the only reason why they don't penetrate you is because you're wearing a spacesuit. Now, if you were out there without a spacesuit, these little rocks would blast right through you like you were butter. On top of
Getting hit
that,
by 22.
and here's the thing: there is no temperature in space because there's no air. So when you're facing the sun, you are cooking, and your backside is freezing.
Mm-hmm.
And then you're getting full hit with unregulated radiation because the sun is a nuclear reactor, and all the light coming off the sun is radioactive. Which is why our ozone is so important. That's why skin cancer. That's why sunburn. It's not because it's bright. It's because the UV light that comes off of it is radiation. Mm-hmm. Now imagine being in space.
In reality, it's like borderline radiation poisoning.
Pretty like it's high intensity radiation blasting. Yeah, pretty much.
So like sun poisoning, it's essentially radiation poisoning.
Yeah.
Just
not on that crazy of a scale where you have where you get the effects of what happens with someone who is radiation poisoned. Like Chernobyl. People that were exposed to the core in Chernobyl, their skin literally, they came out with what looked like sunburn. And then their skin melted off their bodies, and then they died.
Wait, like immediately after, or how did that go?
It took days, but eventually their skin was literally falling off of their bodies. They were melting where they laid.
Ew.
That's what happens when radiation hits you and you're not protected.
It's a nasty thing.
Yeah, your body starts to cook. Like these guys would come to the hospital, they would have sunburn. But it wasn't sunburn. It was the radiation unprotectedly hitting them on their skin. So they had to
You said Chernobyl, right?
Radiation, I don't know, because I don't know much about it, but I've seen in movies where if somebody comes into the hospital with, and this is probably just dramatic, but I don't know. If somebody comes into the hospital with radiation poisoning, everybody who they have to be in a closed off room.
Yep.
Why?
Because radiation, when something becomes radioactive, that radiation stays on whatever it's touching. And it has to be
even
decontaminated.
After it's deceased and melted and killed?
Yes. That's why Chernobyl, after the event, everything was still radioactive. Because the fallout parts of it are still radioactive. So radiation, think of it like, this is a really bad example, but bacteria, viruses and shit, right? So imagine a blanket, how they did in Columbus Day, covered in fucking disease, right? When you decontaminate for biological substances, it works the same way with radioactive material. And that's why with MOP gear, NBC stands for nuclear, biological, and chemical, because nuclear radiation sits on shit the same way chemicals and bacteria does.
Mm-hmm.
And it can be transferred the same way. So you can get poison off of something that's radioactive. Fun fact, your compass is radioactive.
Mm-hmm. I knew that.
That's why it says do not open. Because then you're going to expose yourself to radiation. Super fun.
But how am I going to recharge the batteries?
You fucking... All right, number 2, extended space travel can change your DNA. And you want to know how they know this? There was a astronaut that they put in space. Scott Kelly, actually. There he is. So Scott Kelly is a twin, identical twin. Both of these twins are both astronauts. They sent Scott Kelly into space for over a year, and they kept his brother on Earth. And then when they brought Scott back, they examined them both because both of them are the same DNA, right? They noticed that Scott, after being in space for so long, had altered DNA and altered everything after being in space for so long.
It's wild.
So not only can long-term space travel affect your physical and mental health, it could also disrupt your DNA. In 2016, astronaut Scott Kelly returned to Earth after a year-long stay on the ISS. Upon returning, he noticed he'd grown 2 inches taller than his identical twin, astronaut Mike Kelly. After taking medical exams, scientists were shocked to find that not only did Scott now have different gut bacteria than Mike, but that his DNA was also different from his twin brother. Scientists concluded that the stress from staying in space for far too long caused Scott's cells to essentially rewrite his genetic code. And while he did shrink back to his original height, the changes in his DNA were permanent. So technically, Scott and Mike Kelly are no longer identical twins. Because
Isn't that wild?
Because being in space in 0G and a vacuum can change your fucking DNA. Also,
how Scott looks too, like before and after, is fucking insane.
is it? Let's see. Let's look
yeah,
that up.
look it up. Because I just did that. It's insane.
Scott Kelly before and after.
Yeah.
Let's see. NASA study of astronaut twins create. Let's see. Which one's the photo that you were looking at?
I gotta find it again. I X'd out of
Is
it.
that
So
because some of these side-by-side photos are of him and his twin brother?
of him and his twin brother, I know. There was one. Yeah, but they were identical twins. Anyways. But I'm trying to find the actual photo because I don't know why it's showing different.
Scott Kelly before and after his stay on the ISS. Let's see. Scott Kelly, I came back from space younger than my twin. So he spent 11 months.
Crazy, it made him grow 2 inches too.
Well, that's because of the no gravity. So because like we are restrained by gravity. When you're in no gravity, your joints start to pull apart.
He was in probably so much pain when he got back.
Oh,
to Earth.
he said that. He was on Joe Rogan. He talked about like how his back was killing him for a while.
Well, yeah.
Well, don't they
'cause,
have to go through,
it's like the spine's like this, and then it went like that. Yeah, that's gonna hurt like a motherfucker. Does it go back to normal eventually because of gravity, right?
Yep.
It has to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It just
Don't-
hurts the whole time.
Don't a lot of them come back and are like wheelchair bound for a little bit and kind
Yeah.
of have to
Yeah.
relearn how to walk because gravity's just weighing them down so much?
It's not even that, it's the muscle atrophy. So that's why the International Space Station has like exercise equipment so that you could keep your muscles going, because being in a zero G environment, your blood is pumping different. Your entire circulatory system is operating differently because it's not confined by gravity anymore.
I think that's crazy that we could even survive in zero gravity, considering how like biologically
You know
we
how
work.
we figured that out?
He wasn't in there for a year either. I mean, it was close to a year, but he was
Right.
340 days.
We only figured out how to survive in space through trial and error.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, which
I mean, wait till you get to the next one.
yeah, the next one we could talk about that.
Corpses in space. Did you know there's also a lot of dead animals in space, like dogs and monkeys?
I know. I fucking loathe humanity for the simple fact that they just test, like we just fucking test on animals. That's disgusting.
I know.
Animals
agree.
don't do anything wrong. Test on a fucking pedophile, bro. Are you kidding me?
See, Russia did it right by just sending some brave comrade out into fucking space. They're like, hey, comrade, you're going to space, like for Russia, I guess. And then they just fucking send them.
It shouldn't be like your average people. It should be pedophiles and like some serious fucking criminals. They should go to space, not a cute fucking German shepherd or an adorable chimpanzee. Like, what the fuck is wrong with you?
Oh,
I hate that shit. It makes me so mad.
That reminds me of have y'all seen the show Space Force?
Yes.
And they grab like the like dumbest people in the office and they're like, you're gonna be astronauts, and they're like, will there be cheesecake?
Yeah.
Like, we can get you cheesecake.
What a good show. That should never have been canceled.
What was the other one? Oh yeah, he was like, will we be expected to repopulate other planets? Like, is this
Colonizing?
all I'm working with? Yeah.
Yeah. So corpses in space. This is one you guys are telling me about. Yes, you did just read that. Modern day space missions are relatively safe for astronauts. Of course, I use the term relatively because that wasn't always the case. In total, there have been over 200 space missions conducted by NASA alone, and over 430 people have been to space. Unfortunately, not all of these space missions have been successful, and some earlier failed missions have resulted in the deaths of both humans and animals. What makes matters even more horrifying is the fact that some of these failed spacecrafts have never been recovered. So both the spacecraft as well as the deceased personnel inside of them are still floating out there somewhere, forever lost to the relentless vacuum of our far universe. Crazy to think that, isn't it?
Just corpses floating.
They're probably in black holes by now.
No, the
No,
amount.
Oh, yeah,
close
that's too
enough.
far away,
That's
right?
way
They're
too
like-
far away. So the next article was what was this one? This was called Creepy Facts About Space. So we could probably skip over the ones that we've actually talked about. So let me scroll all the way the fuck back. Oh wait. So all the way to the top. And I hate massive ads. So number 1, chunks of the Milky. Or are you going pee?
I am. I'm listening though. I can hear you. So continue.
Well, I'm going to take this opportunity to piss too. We'll be right back.
Okay, cool. Break.
Regiment in this podcast is also partnered with BR Paradox. BR Paradox is a company that specializes in custom-built PCs. So if you have an idea for a cool custom-built PC, they can definitely give you the hookup on that. But if you're not in the market for custom PCs, BR Paradox has a wide array of pre-built PCs that you could choose from at great prices. And if you're not in the market right now for a new PC, BR Paradox will definitely hook you up with an optimization. Optimizations take around 10-15 minutes to do, and they're very awesome, and I highly recommend them. I had my PC optimized by them, and it's never run smoother since. BR Paradox also has a list of renowned customers ranging from LeBron James, Chris Brown, members of FaZe Clan, and even Angela White from your favorite orange and black site, if you know what I mean. So head on over to brparadox.com to get yourself a PC today or an optimization. And remember to use promo code Regiment at checkout. That's promo code Regiment down here at checkout.
We're going to get into astrophotography too, so I can take some really cool photos.
That'll be so sick.
Like all the photos that you see, when you look up space shit, all the photos that you see is through, like when you look at through a telescope, it doesn't look like that. Like that nebula I showed you, it kind of looked like that, but because of how dark it is and how drowned out the light is, all you can see, and your eyes can't see certain light. The exposure change is what causes it. So when people take really detailed photos of nebulas and shit, they're using a tripod and a telescope with a camera thing mounted into the eyepiece that tracks the thing as it moves, because we're orbiting, so everything in the sky is moving. So the telescope has to follow it, and it takes like multiple photos along the way, and then they layer those photos over each other, and then they change the exposure to really show what it looks like. Because your eye can't see it. Now your eye could see some of it, it just can't see a lot of it. So like the nebula I showed you that I posted in there, it looked like a couple of stars with a white and purplish cloud around it. And only when I changed the exposure of it on the editing did all the colors pop. So those colors and those lights, you can't see them. Just like if you were to look up at the sky right now at night and look at Orion at that same spot, it would just look like one star. You wouldn't even notice it. You wouldn't know that that's like a cluster of stars with gas clouds and shit around it. If you look through binoculars, you could see it.
That's fucking nuts.
When I went upstairs, I looked at Kate and I was like, space is scary. And I started spitting out little facts that we've been learning. And she goes, I know. And I was like, you paid attention in school, didn't you? She goes, no, I'm just extremely fascinated by space. So I learned something new about her. Didn't know that. And I was like, I'm going to have to get you, me, and Brock on a call and just let y'all just talk about space.
Yeah, you should have had her on here instead of me. Are you kidding
Oh,
me?
come
She knows
on.
all this stuff.
Come on now.
Come on now,
I'm just
Whiskey.
lost.
But you got to admit, it's fun learning this weird, wacky shit.
Yeah, I feel like it was I was being like annoying because I kept on asking a bunch of questions.
No,
but
it's
I
okay
feel
to
like
ask questions. I'm happy with that. Just
comprehend it.
It-
It's so hard to like comprehend because it's such an uncomprehendable thing.
oh, I know.
Yeah.
Like my wife never really understood it. She was kind of like she didn't know how it worked in the detail of it, right? And the only reason why we got into the conversation was what really sparked it? Oh God, we were talking about God, but then I started talking about the sun and how our sun is a star in a night sky on another galaxy or another. We're a star for someone else's system, right? In fact, we're a star on another planet. So if you were to be on Mars right now, the Earth would be a blue star in the sky. So in our whole solar system, our sun is a star for someone else in the night sky. So when you're looking up in the sky, you see how like the North Star is all bright and shit. It's a sun. All stars are suns. They're just different types of suns. Our sun is what's called a yellow dwarf star. And there's multiple types of stars. You got a yellow dwarf, a red giant, blue dwarf, blue giant. And
why is it called? Oh, so dwarf and giant.
Dwarf and giant, yeah, because they're different sizes, and they're also made up based off their density. Also, you can have
are all dwarf planets or stars or whatever? Are they like the same size?
No,
or are they just all different?
So they're classified based off of their mass and the type of star they are. So red dwarfs, I think, are smaller than our sun, but a blue dwarf is much larger than our sun. And then we classify them based off of the color that they are, and the color is based off of the gases they're burning. So every star is burning a different gas, and that's what gives them the color. And for red stars, they're burning hydrogen, but they're burning less hydrogen. There's another gas in there that's causing it to be red. So our sun, fun little fact, our sun is going to turn into a red giant before it supernovas. So what happens is, I think they said it was like 440 million, was it 400 million years from now, our sun's going to die. But before it does, it's going to, so like our sun is burning its gases like how we burn gas in a tank. And once it starts to run low, it grows, it expands to try to make up for that gas that it's burning, to try to, conserve. So as it grows, it turns red, and it turns into a red giant. This will consume Venus. This will consume Mercury. It will consume Earth. Earth will no longer exist. It'll be inside the sun. Mars might still be around, but it'll be a burned out planet. Jupiter, by the way, the spot on Jupiter, the little red spot, that's a storm that's been raging for 300 some years, and it's shrinking. So the storm will be gone soon.
I remember you talking about it exploding in 400 million years.
Yeah, no, it won't explode. It'll expand, and then it will contract. It'll contract, and then it will supernova and explode, and it will destroy the entire solar system.
Is that all? So is that going to happen where it expands and then gets smaller and then explodes? Is that going to happen within like a second, or does that happen?
It happens over time.
Over a billion years.
It happens.
How long?
So it happens over the course of millions of years.
And are we noticing anything right now of it doing that?
No, it's not happening fast enough for us to see it. We just know based off of what we have measured and what we've seen other stars do of the same type. We know it eventually will happen. We just we guess mathematically that it'll happen in like several 100 million years, maybe billion years. Is it 40 billion years?
Imagine like the day before it explodes, like your birthday is on the day it explodes, and you're like not even gonna be able to legally drink. You're like 20, and you can't even legally drink.
Hopefully by that point, humanity won't even be on Earth anymore.
Why would we leave? Because we already ruined this fucking planet, so we're gonna go to another planet to kill that too.
Not even that. No, not that. Because think of what we are by nature. We're explorers, right? Being out in like we are made to expand, and us expanding is like we're growing as a species. We're expanding. Are you okay?
Breathing.
And she's over here like dying, and I'm talking about the fucking expansion of civilization.
Yeah, dude, you're giving her anxiety, bro.
It would have been so fucked up, but kind of funny. If you can you stop?
Like, yeah, can you like cut that out, please?
It's so mean. And then we would have just seen God's elbow come from the sky.
I know.
Your wife
Literally
breaking your skull.
But yeah, interstellar travel is like. It ultimately is like the goal of us as a species, to explore and learn and grow. Do you want to just be stuck on this? Do you really want our civilization to just be stuck on this planet forever?
My issue is that humanity is fucking toxic. That's the issue, right? I mean, think of all of the horrific things humanity as a whole have done. I mean, when it comes to exploring, we murder everything in our track. It's not even exploring at that point. It's conquering, taking over, and slaughtering everything in our path. That's not what exploring is.
Well, it's different
That's
now.
how I view it, though.
It's different now, and especially the types.
Like, think about the wars, though, too. I mean, like.
Well, you got to think
Like, I
about
just think-
also the types of people that will be doing this interstellar exploration. The types of people that are doing this are just the normal, curious space nerds that are all about.
Until the trillionaires and the billionaires are like, oh, I can afford this. Let me go there, too. And then a new government gets built on whatever fucking planet, and then more governments come, and then it's war, and we just destroy everything in our path.
See, the thing is, money doesn't equal brains. We all learned this about that submarine, right? What happens
And then
to
we get Space
Yeah.
Marines.
what happens?
That's heartbreaking, though, because I see a lot of people like make jokes about that. But,
I feel
like,
bad for the kid.
It's really sad. I do. Like, I genuinely feel bad for that child. Like, that is.
The guy that
That is
runs the
so
whole that
sad.
ran that whole thing, I don't feel bad for him because he was told multiple times to not do this, and he ignored his engineers and said, "No, I know better than you."
Yeah, but what about, like, I think the people on there. I really, because I mean, think about it like this, right? Every single day, at any time, at any point, something bad can happen to you, right? And we're always like, oh, we see it happening to everybody else, but every single person has some kind of, I don't want to say God complex, but like an invincible complex. Like, oh, I see that happening to them. That could never happen to me. And then it fucking happens. And I think that's what happened. I think that's why those people were like, oh, it'll be fine. It'll buff. You know what I mean? And it, in fact, did not buff out. But
I think too, their point of contact was the guy with like money bags was their point of contact, and he was so confident.
Well,
They didn't hear from the
You know, they
engineers.
had a hearing on this, right? Just recently.
Really?
Yeah, so they had the hearing on this, and like basically the engineers that were fired were all fired by that guy because they were trying to bring up concerns to him about, hey, this is not safe. We need to work on changing it to this. And he was all about, no, we're going to do it cheaper. And it was like, no, this is not going to work. We need to do it this way because it's safer. And he didn't want to listen to him, so he fired them.
Mhm.
So
yeah, so all in all, it's his fault. Right?
100% his fault.
But I don't blame literally anybody else. I do, however, I feel like I don't know. I don't know much about it. Why did the engineers try to go to like the cops or anything?
They
I
actually,
feel like that's what you do in that
so
situation.
it's not the cops that you go to. There's like a whole like administration it's like a maritime administration that they go to, but they went to them and tried telling them.
Fucking do anything?
I'm not 100% sure how that all happened, but they did try going to people about it. And the other thing was that like the craft that they went down there with wasn't certified to be a submarine, because he like found all the loopholes through the system to try to not get it done, because he knew it wouldn't pass. So he went through all the loopholes to try to get it through so that he could use it. Right. It was just all a bunch of shit. But my whole point with that was that like you have these really rich tyrant like people that will try to go to space and die in the process.
Yeah.
Because they don't understand what they're getting into when they go out there. They're going to go out there and be like, you know, because actually there was the first non-astronaut spacewalk just happened. It was a billionaire that had a rocket built. He went out there, got into orbit, and did a spacewalk, which he opened the hatch of his craft and kind of moseyed his way out. I don't think that was real. It looked too much like a fucking mannequin, in my opinion. But they're trying to do it. Like you have Jeff Bezos. He did his whole penis rocket to space, where they were floating around for a second and then they went back down. Virgin Airlines is doing the same thing. I think SpaceX is like the only example I can think of where the privately owned billionaire that's doing it truly wants to do it right. Because you just saw it with SpaceX, what they just did with that large booster that they brought back.
They successfully landed
They
a
caught
rocket.
it. They didn't land it. They caught it.
What do you mean caught it?
So when they brought that thing, but the whole idea was to make a reusable booster. So what the whole plan is to have a booster, bring a craft out into space, loop it back, and then catch it to preserve the actual rockets, and refuel it and send it again to make turn and burns basically possible to space. Rapid deployments to space, rapid returns to space. Not like these long 1 year, we got to wait a year before we can get the rocket to work again because all of our rocket is, and it's space junk too. So all the way that we use rockets, the propulsion systems get ejected off of the rocket and they either burn back into Earth or they're just fucking floating out there in orbit. So the idea of SpaceX is to cut down on space junk and waste for space exploration to make it more efficient and possible. So what they did was this rocket, when they came back, they steered it back and they didn't just land it. The tower has 2 arms on it like this. And they brought that fucking rocket down next to that tower and they clamped it and caught it. Like actually caught it.
That's insane.
I know. That's why this whole thing was
badass.
It was a huge, huge deal. And then when they inspected the rocket, they said, well, just a few of the rockets were warped, but they were replaceable pieces that they could just swap. But the rocket itself functions still, with a little bit of charring and a little bit of warping on some parts that they expected to warp and were prepared to replace for the next launch. Now, the ultimate test would be for them to launch it, catch it, refuel it, launch it again to see if it'll actually be sustainable. But yeah, that whole thing was crazy. So more fun facts of space. The Milky Way galaxy is the chunks of the Milky Way galaxy are being sucked away. Oh, is this about the fucking the Great Devourer or whatever it's called? Something unidentified larger than anything we've known in the universe is sucking portions of the Milky Way, aka our home, away. In 2009, researchers found a cluster of galaxies moving at an extraordinary speed towards a small patch of sky between the constellations of Centaurus and Vela. Scientists have dubbed
Wait, is that the Great Attractor?
I don't know. This sounds like it's different. Scientists have dubbed this phenomenon dark flow in reference to other cosmic mysteries like dark matter and dark energy. Is dark flow the Great Attractor? Oh, that doesn't take us to that at all. Let me close this out. What's the next one? Giant black holes hurls through space at 5 million miles per hour. The Hubble Space Telescope located a black hole in 2017 that's being manipulated by gravitational waves. The black hole is capable of devouring anything in its path. Will eventually break free of its own galaxy and begin to roam the universe. Although anomaly weighs as much as 1 billion suns, it has reached speeds of roughly 5 million miles per hour and is estimated to still be 8 billion light years from Earth.
Well, we talked about that.
The night sky will someday be completely black. As the Milky Way continues to merge... Oh, that's the other fun fact. Our galaxy is merging with Andromeda.
Like currently?
Currently.
That's crazy.
So the Milky Way continues to merge with its neighboring galaxies. The view of the night sky from Earth will change dramatically. The speedy expansion will eventually pull galaxies apart faster than light, eliminating the distinctive products of the Big Bang and nullifying points of reference for expansion measurements. So at some point, there will be no stars in the sky.
Imaginary galaxies, the view of the night sky from Earth will change dramatically. The speedy expansion will eventually pull the galaxies apart faster than... Oh! So it's like a reverse.
Yes. So a lot of people don't know this. So here's a really, really cool fact for if you're ever in a really dark area to see this. Andromeda Galaxy is the closest galaxy to us. It's our next door neighbor galactically.
Oh yeah, you talked about that earlier.
Andromeda is so big in our night sky that it's larger than the moon is in our perspective. So on a really good night sky with like good exposure and stuff, if you look at, and imagine the moon's like this in the sky, like about the size of that, right? In the sky, Andromeda would be like this. It's 6 times larger in our sky view than the moon is. So one whole galaxy, imagine looking in the sky and seeing a galaxy. That's what Andromeda looks like. Our eyes just can't see that amount of light. No, you're good. That's the galaxy. We're colliding with that galaxy.
Wait, so what does colliding of galaxies mean? Like,
Two
what does that
galaxies are hitting
entail?
each other.
So then what does that entail for us? Like, are we screwed?
Some physicists say no, we'll be fine. Other physicists think that like there could be a potential, because the thing is like everything is a lot farther apart than you realize. Even though it looks closer, it's really not. Everything is so far apart. Mars, the closest planet to us, would take us 4 months to get to. That's how much space is between us and Mars. So everything is so far apart that the chances of us actually hitting something else during this is relatively low.
Is it happening like right now
Yeah.
where we're colliding with?
Yeah. We're like almost touching tips right now.
So,
We're sword
Question.
fighting with another galaxy? That's fucking crazy.
question for both of you.
No.
Would you rather know that we're about to see a world-ending event? If it was going to happen in our lifetime, would you rather know about it or have no one fucking tell you?
I don't want to know. I got enough fucking anxiety
I-
as it is.
I wouldn't
it's
either.
gonna delay. Like it's just inevitable.
I want to
you
know because I want to
I'd
watch
rather
it.
not-
Interesting.
Especially if it's a celestial event, I want to watch it.
Watch it before you die.
I
I feel like you'd be able to see it. I feel like there's no.
you will 100% fucking see it.
Yeah, I feel like there's no not seeing it unless you were.
The only
Unless
thing
it happens so fast that like sleeping.
The only thing
You
that
know.
you wouldn't be able to see is if it's a light, if it's something that has to do with light.
Yeah.
Because
The sun
light
fucking
moves
just
at such a
spontaneously
speed that
exploding.
if the sun were to turn off, you wouldn't see it for 8 days.
Well, that's what I'm saying though. It's like yes, you wouldn't see it for 8 days, but it's still to the human eye.
Yeah.
It's immediate. It happened before, but we wouldn't know. It would just be instant. I had this argument drunkenly a month ago on my road trip out here when I visited my sister at in college. Some of her, like one of her boyfriend's friend or roommate or whatever, we all got drunk and argued about this. And he said, no, you would 100% know that it's going to happen and have time to prepare. And then we watched YouTube videos and stuff about it, and he still stayed on it. Next day we all sobered up and he was like, I want you all to know that you were 100% correct, that like to the human eye it would just happen, but I wasn't going to let you win the argument last night. I was like, appreciate that, man.
Love
Anyway.
that. So next fact, astronauts must drink 730 liters of recycled sweat and pee to live in space for a year.
Yummy. Bear Grill style.
So they're literally drinking their, remember when I told you, when you asked me what happens to their sweat and I say it gets recycled so they can drink it? Same with their piss. And fucking straight up Bear Grylls in space. Water is a limited resource in space, mostly because it's not there. Because of this, astronauts must resort to recycling their own waste. NASA astronaut Scott Kelly consumed approximately 700 liters of recycled urine and sweat during his year-long mission.
What about shitting?
Shitting
I
is
have IBS.
so
like, how would that work?
well, one, if you have IBS, you ain't going to space. But if you were, it's a solid waste, so it would be sucked out into space.
But it's not solid. It's when I shit, bro. It's like
So even though the
fucking
even though the
liquid out of my asshole.
listen, even though the consistency of your shit would be liquidy, it's
Ooh.
it's still
I
solid.
wonder.
It's still a solid.
Wait, so how come if I have IBS I can't go to space? Not that I want to, but like I have FOMO. So like, what if I like? What the heck?
Because you might shit yourself when you can't shit. And if you soil the inside of your spacesuit, the thing that's protecting you, you now have a biohazard within your own spacesuit.
Can't
Also-
you like do something
also-
like a catheter, but in the butthole?
Also, because there's no gravity, where do you think that shit's gonna go?
In my hair.
In your face, inside of your spacesuit.
Dude, that sounds like a wicked yeast infection.
Because
that I
it's
just
like,
don't
you
even
got to
wanna
think of it
about.
like your spacesuit is a pressurized atmosphere for you. What did you find?
I looked up if anybody had like explosive diarrhea in space, and yes, they have, and it's just floating around, and then to clean it up and catch it.
Really? Send me that
Yes.
fucking article right now.
Yeah.
Hold on,
drop
I
it- drop
didn't
it
see it in an
the
article.
please.
It was the like, anyway, let me see if I can find an article. But, oh my God, Cora, yes, an astronaut had diarrhea on the ISS, and it was me. Wait, what?
I'd be careful with Quora.
Okay, let's find another one.
Ha,
That's right, because that's like a Reddit.
have astronauts
The
had
floating turd mystery that still haunts NASA.
diarrhea in space? In space. You know what I want to know?
So in the past, astronauts had to knead a germicide into their waste to prevent it from exploding.
Here's one. I found an article talking about how instances of gastrointestinal problems have actually been an occurrence in the later part of missions. Send you that.
So if you start out with it, you're just fucked, pretty much.
You can get I mean, it's one thing to already have
Or
it.
what if it cures it?
I don't know.
What if it cures it?
I just found an
Send me to
awesome
space,
article
bro.
about
I
the
spent too
Apollo
much
10
money.
missions and a floating turd.
So gastrointestinal issues. Gastrointestinal problems account for 8% of the recorded medical events on the space shuttle missions. The incidence is a 0.52 per person, 14 days of the space environment. Experience in analog environments suggests that an incidence of gastrointestinal problems is much lower, being only 0.01 per person per year. This data suggests that the motility problems identified during space shuttle missions can be attributed to the effects of the microgravity environment. So being in a low gravity environment can also cause you to have diarrhea. Many astronauts who develop...
If you scroll down a little bit further, it talks about women astronauts and periods, which is actually really fucking interesting.
Gynecological? Oh, yeah. Hang on. Let's get to that in a second. So, many astronauts who develop symptoms of SMS also seem to develop transient ileus, diagnosed by an absence of bowel sounds. So their bowels don't make sounds. That's cool. Although motility may remain decreased throughout the space mission, the bacterial population may change. The etiologies are unclear of the data. So it says some spacecraft crew members have experienced constipation during missions. This may be related to physiological alterations of the bowel induced by the microgravity environment. Adequate hydration through long duration space missions should prevent constipations. Some crew members have experienced diarrhea. The ideology is also but symptom related. Okay, so this is actually talking about the science of it. What about the periods part? Although the likelihood it may be small, but that a gynecological condition that requires surgical intervention will occur during space travel, the occurrence of such condition would present special problems. Therefore, as with other medical conditions, attention must be directed toward prevention. Conversional or surgical conditions and medically treatable conditions. Let's see, regardless of these measures. Anyway, let's, what about your article?
It was the next one. It was the contraception and hormone replacement therapy.
Oh, because of the absolute preclusion of pregnancy while in the space program, many female astronauts have chosen contraceptive methods that are known to be very effective. These include intrauterine devices, so like, okay, implants and oral contraceptives made up of various combinations of hormones, which all have been continued during space travel. Although an intrauterine device is an effective contraceptive for long-duration space missions, the added non-contraceptive benefits of hormonal contraceptive agents may make them preferable. So it changes their period. Withdrawal cycle every 28 days. Interesting. Hormone flow. Most women in oral contraceptives have a period every 28 days. It is possible to extend the cycle from every 28 days to several months. With some,
that was crazy.
That's
what shocked me.
Let's see what your.
But I wish it talked about what would happen post, like coming back to Earth as a woman, like, you know what I mean? I feel like that would be so weird. Like, how would can you get pregnant after? You know what I mean? Like, what's the reproductive?
Oh, you want to know about sex in space? You want to know about sex in space?
No, I don't care about sex in space. I care about post. Like, are you I feel because the uterus and everything like in a woman's body is so fucking sensitive. Like, I feel like going to space would fuck that all up, especially because you expand. Like, your joints and all that shit expands. I feel like you just wouldn't be able to get pregnant after, or like even probably not even get a fucking period, or have a period like every day of the fucking month.
I feel that I feel that it would be like the cycles and everything. Like the feminine issues would be probably very, very sporadic and weird, and would cause a lot. It could cause issues, but I mean, there's a lot of female astronauts, so I mean, I can't imagine that it's too big of an issue.
Mm-hmm.
It's just it can be an issue. It's just not typically. What's this article you're talking about poop in space?
All right.
Yeah, the floating.
So
turd.
I found this. This is a lot more interesting. The floating turd mystery that still haunts NASA.
What?
During Apollo 10, in which a crewed spacecraft orbited the moon as dress rehearsal for the first lunar landing, astronauts encountered a deep mystery. Who did it? Commander Tom Stafford suddenly asked, 6 days into the mission as the crew discussed preparations for leaving the moon's orbit. Who did what? Inquired Command Module Pilot John Young. Where did that come from? Interjected Lunar Module Pilot Eugene Kernan. A moment later, for listeners at ground control, the mystery was resolved. Give me a napkin, quick, commanded Stafford. There's a turd floating through the air.
Oh my God.
In an era where spacecraft waste management consisted of a plastic bag which was taped to the buttocks of to capture feces, turds could escape from time to time and float about the spacecraft. The Apollo 10 astronauts proceeded to debate the provenance of the turd in question, with no one owning up to producing it. And they have audio logs of them arguing about it, going back and forth saying, I didn't do it. It ain't one of mine. I don't think that's one of mine. Mine was a little more sticky than that. Throw that away.
Oh.
Yeah.
And just 9 minutes later, Kernan was flabbergasted to be interrupted yet again by another floating piece of shit. They said on 135, they told us that here's another goddamn turd. What's the matter with you guys? Here, give me a. They start laughing. Well, babe, if it was me, I sure would know I was shitting on the floor. It was just floating around. Yes, mine was stickier than that. Mine was too. It hit the bag.
What the fuck?
When I stuck my finger in mine was too soft. God dang. I didn't know whose that is. I can neither claim it or disclaim it.
I stuck my finger in it.
The discovery was followed by another round of denial. To this day, the great space turd mystery of 1969 has never been solved.
Oh my God. Can you imagine being in the ship and just a fucking turd just like creeps its way into your field of view and you're like, what the fuck? And you know they weren't in spacesuits when this happened.
Well, they were just orbiting. Yeah, you're right.
They didn't have helmets on.
Yeah, no, they were sitting there just in the craft floating around the Earth.
Floating around. Were they orbiting the Earth or the moon?
No, they were orbiting the Earth. It was a crewed, anyway, moon dress rehearsal for the first lunar landing. So they're up there trying to figure out how they're gonna do everything when they get to the moon.
I feel like
They were doing their
pooping and peeing was like an afterthought once they got there.
Oh, I mean, they said they just were like, here, take a bag and tape it to your butt.
Yeah, I mean, dude, really, that's your waste management. Like you want to shit in a fucking bag and hope for the best. And then you get.
That's what they did, and sometimes it went wrong.
I mean, you would think that like I think what nowadays they just have an airlock toilet where you just like you shit and then like kind of like traps it and then you just hit the airlock and it just sucks it out.
It's a tube that you put on your ass.
Oh,
and then you shit and it kind of vacuums
dude.
it.
I mean, imagine getting your poop sucked out of your butt instead of you having to really strain to push it out. But I also feel
I wonder
like
what that's
fun
like
part,
though,
though.
shitting in space in
But-
zero gravity. There's nothing like gravity's not pulling it out of you. Does it feel different?
I don't know. What
We
would you
should
say,
go to
Whiskey?
space.
We should try this in
said-
space. Yeah,
I said y'all have fun, not me though.
I'm curious.
You don't want to go like to space with me and my IBS, dude. You just fucking don't want to do it. Instead of like a singular turd floating around, it'd be just random globs of like, oh, that's the corn on the cob I had last week. That's crazy. How's that just here right now? You know, yeah. Mm-mm.
So people
No,
are.
I said the fun part is pushing it out.
A lot of people actually ask this
Like a
question
workout.
because it is a very big curiosity about, you know, like how we talk about bodily functions in space and shit. Sex in space. Has it ever happened? And and here's the thing, right? You know that fucking dude that was in space for the year. You mean to tell me not once did he fucking crank one out for a year? Let's look into it.
NASA says there's no evidence to suggest that.
But
sex has
astronauts
happened.
also avoid the topic.
It's difficult. I love that there's two reasons as to why they probably haven't. They're busy and it's hard.
So this article is from Sci-Fi, actually. Having sex in space might be a more challenging grind than we thought.
Grind is hysterical.
I know. The
It's
circumstances
hilarious.
the circumstances surrounding the launch of the Ark were not ideal. The planet was dying. Humanity's okay, that's about the fucking show. So in the real world, sex in space is highly discouraged, and as far as we know, it has never happened. If any astronauts have gotten lucky in orbit, they aren't being forthcoming about it. If it hasn't happened already, the first human-to-human docking in space is likely to happen relatively soon, with some potentially unforeseen consequences. No one has ever had sex in space, we think. We could speculate, though we should remember these are real people we're talking about, but sex in space probably hasn't happened. The pool of astronauts is incredibly small and made up of trained professionals. It's not that pros don't like to boogie down like the rest of us, it's just that astronauts usually have other things to worry about during their missions. Things like completing their dozens of experiments, staving off muscle and bone atrophy, and not dying. Yeah, I guess that would kind of like really ruin the mood, is like to survive. You know, I need to not die in the void of space.
Something that I read too is the blood flow, because
Makes it
microgravity
impossible.
can cause blood flow to reverse. So it's explicitly says making getting wet feel different. And I'm assuming, like, can you even get hard in space? Because
Probably
it's, like,
not.
it's blood
That's what
flow.
I just read, was that it would probably not be able to happen.
Yeah, it's just like not a thing.
Oh, here, listen to this one. There's the question of space, not the emptiness outside of the spacecraft, but the lack of emptiness inside of it. Certainly, the shuttles in the ISS are large enough to accommodate zero-G or romp in the hay, but it would be cramped quarters. We do know that at least one married couple has been to space at the same time. Astronauts Mark Lee and Jan Davis met during training at STS-47, a mission aboard Space Shuttle Endeavour in 1992. They were secretly married before launch, and by the time NASA found out, it was too late for either of them to be replaced. The space organization has since changed its policies to prevent married couples from flying together. Space, and there's a reason why, and it's not because of the sex part, it's because of the emotional part, right? You have to be focused on the mission first for everything, right? And the safety of yourself and the others on the craft. If, let's say, your husband does something fucking stupid or is in a situation where you can't save them, are you going to try to save them and put everyone at risk? Or are you going to have to detach your emotions and let them die?
Mm-hmm.
That is a tough one.
That's the biggest reason why they will not let married couples do space missions together.
I will say, I guarantee you that couple has the answer. I guarantee you.
Oh,
they
without
tried.
a doubt, bro.
And
It
talked
just
about
doesn't make
before they
it
went
doesn't make sense. Like, scientifically speaking, like if there's like if blood flow reverses, I mean, you'd be trying to have sex with like a fucking noodle, like a soggy noodle. You know, well, a dry noodle. It wouldn't even be soggy.
Can you
It'd just
imagine
be-
the blue balls and not being able to function? You're just like, it hurts.
Well, could
I
you
gotta
even-
get it out. And you can't.
Wait, could you even get blue balls though? Because that develops by pressure and like blood flow. I don't even think
Good
you could
point.
get blue balls.
Good point. They probably don't even think about it.
I was gonna say, like, to the point of being so busy and constantly having other things to worry about,
Yeah, I feel
It's
like that's
probably just
not
like
even a thought.
I'm not worried about it, man.
Especially because like every astronaut works so fucking hard to be able to become an astronaut in general. There's like limited slots and everything. Like it's a fucking grind, you know?
Mhm.
So like I feel like you wouldn't be worried about sex. You'd be like, "Oh, I need to do my fucking job and make sure I do it really good so then, I can actually succeed at what I've been working so hard for to do,
Yeah,
in my eyes at least."
I do have to say though, I really wish that some space organization out there would just be like, "Hey, let's try this. Let's see what happens. Let's see if it works." You know,
Well, they probably have, but
for
it's
science.
I don't know.
For science.
For science.
It's like the guy that did it with his wife under X-ray. Did you ever see that?
Oh yeah, for
Yeah.
science. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. He's like, for science. It's like, no, it wasn't, bud. You're just curious. I go, well, that's what science is. You're just curious.
I'm trying to find the next disturbing fact. Oh shit. Okay, here's a fucking good one. Number 10. The universe could literally explode in a few billion years. According to the Big Rip theory, in a few billion years, a mysterious permeating force known as dark energy will become so powerful that it could pull every ounce of the Earth's matter apart at an atomic level. Dr. Robert Caldwell of Dartmouth, physicist, described this apocalyptic scenario in a paper written in tandem with professors from the California Institute of Technology. Can you imagine if the universe just ripped itself apart? Oh, this one I know about. Space can make you nearsighted. As evidenced by astronaut Scott Kelly's year-long in the ISS, space travel wreaks bewildering effects on the body. One such effect is the deformation of your eyes during extended periods of orbit, which could lead to long-term complications. Fluids surrounding the brain can increase to the point that eyes begin to swell and sight drastically deteriorates. Space can make space can change the eyes.
Essentially go blind if you're out there long enough.
Yeah, space, like the zero gravity environment can cause your eyes to deform.
So, well, no, that's already been. Have they figured out how to like incite gravity in space?
No, at least I don't think they have. It's all been a theory. You know, if you watch Interstellar, the craft that's spinning kind of gives them the gravity and shit. Like the idea is, can you cause any kind of gravitational or artificial gravity? Can you do it?
Because the more we read about this stuff, like we talked in the last one about like all we really need to travel in space is the proper engine, right, and fuel, and then like we can do it. But it's sounding more and more like that's not it. Like we probably got to figure out how to make artificial gravity as well, so that way you're not blind by the time you get wherever you're going.
You have to figure out how to do both. So, Whiskey, last week we talked about traveling at the speed of light. In order to travel,
Lightyear.
What?
I said Buzz Lightyear.
Pretty much, yeah. So traveling at the speed of light. Light is, I forgot what I said. The speed of what light is in miles per hour. How fast is the speed of light?
Deja vu.
Speed
all over again.
I know. Speed of light in miles per hour. That is a fucking crazy number.
What is it? Is it in like the millions or trillions? Probably trillions.
Light travels at 886,000 miles per second.
Per second? What the fuck? Holy shit.
Yep.
Per second is nuts.
Yeah.
That's fucking crazy.
And that's approximately. Kilometer, because they measure it all in kilometers.
The way you said that was really haunting. I'm just letting you know that.
So they've actually measured it in meters per second. So the meters per second, light travels at 299,792,458 meters per second, which is 1,079,252,848.8 kilometers per hour. But so
It's a lot.
It's a lot. It's fast as fuck. Now, we were talking about like traveling at the speed of light and how it could be possible. So you would have to be, so the human body can only withstand 1G for prolonged periods of time, which is what you feel on Earth right now, right? So that's why when pilots do their fucking maneuvers, they can only sit in that for so long before they black out. And even if they do their little exercises, right? They're up at like fucking 5G, 6G, 7Gs, and all that shit. You would have to accelerate. You need to have a propulsion system that has the fuel to accelerate you at at enough speed to keep you at 1G over a period of time. And it would take you 1 year to get from the speed you started at to the speed of light and keep you at 1G based off of physics. The other thing is that you have to figure out is the fuel source to keep you doing that. So how it would work, let's say you want to go to Andromeda. Andromeda is 4.8 light years away. It would take you at the speed of light 4.8 years to get there. So you have to account for the 1 Earth year that it takes to get to 1 light year, because it takes you how long to go 1 light year? How long is 1 light year? In Earth years. So, well, that doesn't fucking tell me anything, does it? How long would it take you to get 1 light? How long would it take to travel a light year? Fuck no, that's not what I wanted. How long would it take to travel 1 light year? It would take you to travel 1 light year 27,000 years. To travel the distance that covers a light year, it would take you at the way that our spacecrafts now are. If you went for the speed of Apollo, it would take you 27,000 years to travel 1 light year at 600 miles per hour. Oh yeah, that was the thing we did. So at 24,500 miles per hour, it would take you 27,000 years to travel 1 light year. At a speed of a plane, it would take you 1 million years to travel 1 light year. So if you can accelerate to the speed of light, it would take you at 1G, 1 whole Earth year to get to the speed of light. And at that point, it takes you 4 years to reach from point A to point B to go into the Andromeda galaxy. But you also have to account for the deceleration. And the reason why is because if you accelerate to 1 light year speed, from 0 to 1 light year speed, you are going to evaporate. Same with if you decelerate. So you have to account for how long it will take you to accelerate to that and how long it will take you to decelerate from it. And hope that you're going to the fucking place you want to go. Because if you short it or overshoot it, you're kind of fucked, because you're going to have to fucking, well, great, I got to wait another year. And then here comes relativity. Whiskey, I'm going to blow your mind with this. When you are traveling, when the human, and this is how relativity works, if you are traveling at the speed of light, you age differently than people on Earth.
Do you age quicker?
Slower. If you were to travel 1 light year, everyone you know on Earth is dead. And you are still the same age.
Yeah, but like, wouldn't you also be dead because you're from Earth?
You age differently because of where you are in space-time. Space-time completely alters where you sit in time. That's relativity. Time works differently in space. Because you're traveling, you ever seen Interstellar?
No.
Watch Interstellar. That's a really good example of like traveling through.
Dude, I heard that movie's like a mind fuck. I like the piano in it though.
It is a mind fuck, because
yeah, that's what I heard.
Like with relativity, the way that time works, because you are traveling at a speed where time works differently. Because you're in it, the time that you are in works completely differently. So you're aging how you are aging currently. However, in relation to those that are aging on Earth, you are aging slower. So let's say you travel 1 light year and you travel back. You have now traveled several thousand years, like tens of thousands of years. Everything you know about Earth is not the same anymore.
Do you think people would still be on Earth without like 3,000 years from now, or do you think
No.
we would be expanded to other places?
Probably
When do you
expanded.
think we're gonna start expanding? Like at the 1,000 year mark?
I think we'll start expanding as soon as the next couple hundred.
Really?
The way that we're advancing in technology right now, like look at where we at right now with interstellar travel. Interstellar travel is currently only being done on a probe level. So Voyager 1 is a satellite that we sent out in the 60s with a record in it that basically said that if any kind of life finds this probe, it'll show them that, hey, there's other life here. So we have like a record in it, and we can still track it to this day. We know where it is. And it's recently left the solar system. It is now the first man-made craft to travel at an interstellar level. And it took from the 60s to now to get there. That's how far it is. And
Imagine how advanced, like, because you keep on saying, like, with how our technology is expanding and, like, it's advancing and stuff like that. Imagine how fucking behind we are compared to every other being out there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And here's another thing, too. The way that light works and how we see things in the past because of how light works. There could very well be a planet inhabited by another civilization, but by looking at it, we can't see it yet because we see it several 100 million years before that's happened. So when you're looking at the stars, everything you're looking at is in the past, not in its current state.
But if like other beings are looking at Earth, are we in the future or are we in the past?
We are in the past in relation to what they see. So when they look at Earth as the way that light travels, when they look at Earth, the things that they see on Earth is tens, if not hundreds of million years in our past.
We should have done this podcast just fucking blitzed. Like fucking high as fuck. Could you imagine this conversation if we were all just high as fuck?
This would be like a 7-hour long podcast because guess what? We're at 3 hours now.
I know I gotta eat dinner.
Yeah, we'll wrap it up. We didn't even get to the aliens part.
Well, we kind of did. We were definitely like bouncing back and forth.
You're talking about the Pentagon declassifying a bunch of shit with their UAP program and how they've released all the footage from the fucking Navy.
Mm-hmm. We talked about that. I mean, we briefly brushed it.
Yeah. I mean, I literally was like, I don't believe shit that they say because I don't. I mean, I guarantee you there is some truth to it, but there's so much they're not telling us. And low key, I kind of get why, because I mean,
it would change the way that, like, honestly, it would change everything for everyone.
Just think about the rebellions that would happen because of that. Like, if we found out all the shit that we don't fucking know, I really do not think that there would be a civil place.
It would be really, it would not only would it not be a civil place, but like, think of faith, for example. It would make people of faith question their faith hard.
Mm-hmm.
To know that we are not the only creation. We're not the only things that are made. Everything that they've learned from, growing up with religion is not at all like that. That there's more.
Well, the thing is I'm a Christian, and obviously I need to practice a little better. But from what I know of the Bible, there are other like beings. Like the Bible openly admits that, like Nephilim, and then like the angels that are trapped. I mean, there's like whole conspiracies about like the Bible and the beings, and like what like the average person who doesn't believe in God or like doesn't believe in any religion, no matter what it may be, they like there's people who question it. Like, what if like the aliens that people see are actually angels because of how they do correspond with how the Bible explains angels and what they look like. If you look up a Bible accurate angel, it's not this person with wings who
no,
looks
it's not. It's crazy.
Like
looking.
no, it's a terrifying thing because it's meant to terrify demons. Why do you think whenever anybody in the Bible met an angel, they were like like the first thing the angel said was like, do not fear me. Like, don't fear me. Like, I'm not an op, I promise. You know what I mean? It does correspond with what the average person who doesn't have faith, like how they explain aliens and what aliens look like. They kind of go hand in hand. So depending on what were to be released and what would be found out, it very much so could be aliens or not aliens, angels, and that's what aliens are to us. Like, there's a bunch of different like theories on all of this. I find it all very fascinating.
I think my honest theory about this is that the truth is not as deep, or is not as cut and dry as religion makes it to be. I think it's a lot more complicated, and not in like a way of just like, you know, I just think that like humans have perceived things to be something that it probably is not. Like, so God created this stuff, right? But what is God? Type thing. So you look at it, and the thing is, when you look out into the cosmos, you can't help but think like, what the fuck made that? You know? And
Yeah, no, that's so valid.
and then you look out at it and you're just like, okay, so what made that? And then what made the thing that made that? And then you go backwards more and more. And then there's even that thought about the, you know, how the universe actually works, is that it doesn't, it's because it's expanding. The Big Bang has already been proven scientifically to be true. I think
Yeah,
that,
but then what created science? Because if you
I think it goes
about
hand in hand in a way.
also all very.
I think it goes hand in hand in a way, but because the other thing is like why I don't think religion has it completely right is because, and I know this because my in-laws are like very religious, and they talk about how they only think that the earth is a couple thousand years old, and it's not. It's way older. The universe is way older. So I think that our
Yeah, but how do you know that? Like, how does science know that?
geology,
Right, but how do people know how old rocks are?
it's just by geology. There was something, I watched this in Cosmos, and now I'm forgetting it.
And what? Wait,
Cosmos.
what's Cosmos?
It's a documentary. Pretty much about how Earth was created, how long it took for the Earth to be created, how life. Did you know that Earth's been through 5 extinction level events, or 4 extinction level events?
Thought scientific wise it was just dinosaurs.
No,
There's more.
farther back than that.
Ice Age is one of them too, right?
Ice Age was after the
I
dinosaurs.
thought that was
Yeah.
the same.
Oh, you're
time
talking about before the
frame.
dinosaurs. We had
Before the
others.
dinosaurs, we had 3 others.
Oh, got you.
What were they?
Basically the Earth fucking purging.
What do you explain? I'm
So
curious.
okay, so I'm trying to remember all of them, but there's like different periods of the Earth. One of them being the dinosaurs. There's like 2 or 3 other periods before that. That was one of them was microbial life.
What's that?
Microbial life is like single to multi-celled organisms that are, you wouldn't be able to see them. They eventually grew and evolved. And then
Think bacteria.
and most of them were aquatic. So what happened was, and we know this because of the fossils that we found, the Earth has, you know, the way that our crust is ever shifting, ever unstable because of the way it is. And we have all these gases that emit from it, like sulfur and all that shit, and methane, and it causes life how it is on Earth to no longer be sustainable. Once in a while, though, there's a few of those organisms that do survive through it, and that's why life continuously comes back. There's a theory that life is not originally from here. Life is originally from
Isn't that kind of what you were referring to when you said that like all the metals and the precious ore that we view,
Right.
It's not from here, none of it comes from Earth.
None of it's native from Earth, but it's native to our system. All of the things that make up our planets are native. That's why some of our planets have the same. That's why almost all of our planets have gases and minerals that we see on Earth, because every single planet is made from the same gases and minerals within our system. So all this shit that's from meteors and asteroids and stuff, because like we have this thing called the asteroid belt, which sits between Mars and Jupiter, and it's full of basically the leftovers of our system's creation. And the way that gravity has worked, more things of mass. Saturn, we've seen it with Saturn, how moons are created. Saturn's rings is just a bunch of shit of ice and rock. And larger pieces of it are, like, as those rings are moving, larger pieces of it are going through and they're colliding and they're collecting like a snowball. And once it picks up enough mass, it pulls out. And then it gets caught in an orbit, like a satellite. But during that, it depends on how it gets bumped out. So at what stage it gets bumped out. So some of them keep snowballing to bigger and bigger and bigger. Some of them snowball to really small. Jupiter has 95 moons. And Saturn has like 100 something. Saturn is basically a fucking moon nursery because of the rings.
So how many moons? We only have one moon, right?
We have one.
Yeah.
And part of it is from Earth. It's just collected over shit over time because it's like remnants of what made Earth from way
Well, I have a
back
question for you. I really want, because you just know much about space. I'm really curious on this. Do you think the moon landing was real?
Yeah, of course it was.
Do you think that video that everybody saw was real?
I think it was, yeah.
What about you?
Yeah. No, I think it's real.
Yeah. I've heard so many fucking insane conspiracies on that.
That the moon landing was to
I-
bankrupt the Soviet Union, basically.
No, it wasn't that. It wasn't anything like political wise. It was just that it was fake. Like it wasn't actually real.
Well, that's kind of where the "it's not real" comes from, is because we were in a space race with Russia, and it was like, okay, well, it'd be better if we just faked it and made the world believe that we did it, so that way Russia would be like, fuck, we lost, and try to spend more money on actual space travel. That was like the whole thing with it. But it's one of those things that it's like like the lighting is a perfect example. You know, I don't know if you've gotten that deep into it, but like the lighting is a great example. Like there was no like real way on Earth at the time for us to create the lighting that we saw in the video from the moon, from the surface of the moon.
Not only that,
Like,
but
we
a lot
just
of
didn't
people
have the technology.
A lot of people don't realize this, but we've been to the moon more than once.
Yeah.
It just
Was
wasn't.
the moon landing the first time we ever went to the moon?
Yeah, that was the first time. The
Mhm.
one that everyone saw with Neil Armstrong, that was the first one. I think we've had 2 or 3 more after that. And then
Don't we have a little rover on the moon?
No, we haven't. We might, but we definitely have one on Mars.
That's where the rover is.
And it's so.
Do you think the American flag is still on the moon?
Yeah,
Or do you think it's
it's
like
it's either
floated away?
it wouldn't have withered away. It probably would have faded to nothing, to like blank. Or if it's gone, it got hit by something. Because if you look at the moon through a telescope, it is covered in mountains and craters. The moon got pelted by shit all the time. It still does.
You don't even have to look at it through a
Everybody's
telescope,
just
by
beating
the
up
way.
the moon.
Oh, I
You
know.
could just
It's
look at it
sad.
with the naked eye, and
And
you're
see
like,
it.
oh, Lord.
The thing is,
Yeah.
it's covered in craters. That thing got fucked up.
Especially during the daytime, like today when I was driving back home from my hair appointment, I saw like the moon clear as day. And it's just it's so texturized with just the naked eye, which is crazy. So imagine looking at it like up close and personal. I guarantee you it's so fucking cool.
It is. Like seeing it through my telescope, it's like you could see mountains, craters. You could see mountains inside of craters. And
Are the mountains like the mountains we have on Earth, or are they like cooler looking?
they just look like rocky shit. That's all it really looks like. I mean, it's cool knowing what it is, but I mean, yeah, the moon is just covered in like debris and shit from interstellar, or not interstellar, but like cosmic fucking rocks smashing into it constantly. So, do I think the moon landing was fake? No. And the reason why I don't think it's fake is because look at where we're at right now with space travel. What we've done so far. The only reason why we didn't go to the moon, they're like, well, why haven't we been back? There's no reason to be back. Like, we collected all the data from it, and then at some point, the data never changed. So, cool. We went to the moon.
There's also theories that like all these people going to space is actually a lie too.
I know.
There's so many. I actually do believe that we have gone to space. And I do think it's at the stake of innocent animals who did not need to fucking go anywhere.
That's exactly why we knew that we could make it, is because we sent animals up.
Yeah,
Some
I know.
died, and then when they didn't, we were like, "That's how you do it. Cool, send a guy."
Yeah,
Pretty much.
That's just shitty. I'm
Like-
still so fucking mad about that. I think that's another reason why, like, I think if it comes down to it, the only reason why, I don't know. There's a bunch of conspiracy theories on this, and one of the ones that I'm kind of leaning towards, not that I like fully, obviously gung-ho believe in it, but is that eventually Earth is just going to be inhabitable because of war or something like that, or just because of all the chemicals that we're pouring out into the air and all the factories we have and like radiation poisoning and all that shit. Earth is just going to slowly become inhabitable, so that's why we're going to be forced to go other places, and then it's just going to.
So the whole thing about, like, you know, with climate change and stuff, do you know how do you know how we know that there's an issue with it?
How?
So look at Venus, for example. Venus is what we call Earth's twin, but it's the opposite of Earth because of its environment. So Venus is insanely hot, and it's not hot because it's closer to the sun. It's hot because of its atmosphere. Its atmosphere is pretty much nothing but a thick layer of carbon dioxide. And you have volcanoes and shit that's emitting more and more carbon. So how it works is actually sunlight can't really get into Venus. But the light that does get into Venus, it can't leave. So the reason why that Earth isn't so fucking hot all the time,
It just traps it there?
the carbon in the air traps it there.
The light?
So it traps. So basically, think of when you put a blanket over your head. You notice how it gets hotter the more you breathe in there. It's because carbon is building up. Carbon dioxide is building up, and it's trapped. So it's getting hotter. So carbon dioxide on Venus is the same way. So all the heat gets trapped inside. It can't leave the atmosphere. Heat leaves our atmosphere. That's why we're not being cooked all the fucking time by heat. Summertime, it's hot because, you know, it's fucking where we are in relation to the sun and all that stuff and seasons, and that's a whole other thing. So we only know because of what we found on the ice in the polar caps. We do coring drills on certain areas. Each layer of it like shows a different time in the atmosphere. And during the Industrial Revolution, we've seen that there's an elevation in carbon within the atmosphere. And the farther and farther to the top you go, the more and more carbon there is. So yes, we're emitting more carbon than we normally used to be. But the other thing is that climate change has been a thing for the Earth in its entirety.
Yeah, for sure.
Rapid climate change is actually why where 3 of the 4 past extinction events happened. It was all climate change. And it wasn't because we put shit in the air. Granted, us putting shit in the air is actually kind of helping it along, but the Earth does it naturally anyway. Like the atmosphere gets rich with carbon, and then you have like or a volcano goes off. Damn.
Well, it's like it's kind of like the human body, where, you know,
Right.
after a while you get sick, you sweat it out, and then you're good.
Babe. What the fuck? Anyway, so
Why are you yelling at her? She didn't do anything. It's the dog.
no, she put him down here.
Oh.
So super volcanoes is another one. So you know what a super volcano is? You know Yellowstone National Park?
Yeah.
You know that's one big volcano?
What the fuck?
The entirety of Yellowstone is a volcano.
Is it gonna erupt anytime soon? Or-
Not anytime soon, they don't think, but it does erupt. It typically erupts every tens of thousands of years. And
There are people there to watch it,
that
like monitor.
geologists
be
are
like,
monitoring
hey.
it every day. Because if it erupts, that's it.
What do you mean that's it?
That's almost an extinction level event if it erupts.
Wait, of like the Earth?
Yeah. So
Wait. What?
Yellowstone National Park is what's called a caldera volcano. Imagine a caldera. So you know how volcanoes are usually a mountain? A caldera is like a pimple. All the magma and everything is like trapped in a pocket under the earth versus spewing out and creating a mountain. So it's trapped in a pocket of pressure under the earth. That's why there's hot springs, there's geysers, and all that shit. Yellowstone National Park is what's called a super volcano, a caldera. I think there's like 5 of them on the planet. If Yellowstone were to erupt, the ash itself would cover the entire planet. The entire upper hemisphere, the northern hemisphere where we're at, would be just covered in just darkness. And things would get really cold. Crops will die. Ash will cover everything. Most of the Midwest will be destroyed if it erupts. Everything farther south will have a better chance of surviving. Farther north you are, the higher chance you have of dying because you're starving and freezing to death. And it's happened several times in the past. And that's how and that's one of the reasons why we had an ice age, was because the atmosphere was covered in ash and shit. So Yellowstone National Park is an active volcano. And if it erupts, it will be it'll change the earth.
Are there any more on the planet?
Let's look. How many?
We live on a
That's
ticking
probably the
time
only
bomb.
one in the U.S., right?
That's the only one here in the U.S. How many? There are approximately 20 supervolcanoes on Earth, but the exact number.
Oh, we're fucked.
The exact number is unknown.
It's fun to
Please
think
go
that
now.
something that could end life as we know it on Earth
It wouldn't end
is
all of it.
well, I mean, as we know it, like it would drastically change life as we know it, right?
Here's a fun read for you, Whiskey.
If I don't gotta pay taxes, dude, I honestly don't care.
Here's a little fun
Kinda
article
down for
that I'm gonna,
whatever at this point.
I'm gonna read this to you. What would happen if a supervolcano eruption occurred again in Yellowstone? If a larger caldera-forming eruption were to happen at Yellowstone, its effects would be worldwide. Such a giant eruption would have regional effects such as falling ash and short-term, years or decades, changes to climate change. Those parts of the surrounding states of Montana, Idaho, and Wyoming are the closest to Yellowstone would be affected by pyroclastic flows, which is a giant volcanic like a cloud, like a pyroclastic flow of like ash and rock. While other places in the United States would be impacted by falling ash, the amount of ash would decrease with distance from the eruption site. Such eruptions from calderas, broad volcanic depressions created as the ground surface collapses as a result of withdrawal of partially molten rock below. Fortunately, the chances of this eruption are very low. So the ash would cover the earth.
Is that why they made it a national park? So then, like,
People can't fuck with it?
that does make sense why it would be a national park.
So the ash would be thousands of miles across the U.S., damaging buildings, smothering crops, and shutting down power plants. It would be a global disaster. And it's right here. You didn't know that Yellowstone was a giant volcano?
No,
Really?
I had actually no idea. I genuinely.
How does that make you
sound
feel?
Fucking stupid.
No,
but-
it's okay. You learned this though. But how does
Well,
it make you
I really
feel?
thought that the only volcanoes were in like Hawaii. That's what I thought. I think I pronounced that correctly, Hawaii. But
Mount St. Helens is in Washington.
that's a volcano?
Mount St. Helens is now I think it's an extinct volcano or it's dormant. But Mount St. Helens, it erupted in the 80s, that's in Washington.
So then, is there like an opening to this volcano in Yellowstone, or is it all just literally underground?
It's mostly underground, but technically the openings, quote unquote, are the geysers and the hot springs.
Are you fucking? That's what those are, and people just go there to view them for funsies.
Yep.
Fuck that.
And
That's
Fuck
what I was
no.
gonna say earlier. That's like crazy about it is something that could drastically affect the Earth is a
tourist
side
attraction.
attraction that people take their children to and take pictures next to.
I mean, because if
That's
you really think
insane.
about it,
It's
it's because it's being monitored. It's active, but it's not close to eruption. Geologists and seismologists can actually see when this is about to happen. when it's critical. Like, hey, that's how we know when a volcano eruption is about to happen. Look at Iceland last year. There's a massive volcanic, like, because Iceland is a volcano too. They had an eruption not long ago, and it was like they had to do a mass evacuation because it was splitting part of the island. And they were able to predict this months before it happened. So they evacuated people.
There's a volcano in Sicily that you could see from the base that I was on. And a couple years after I left, it erupted.
The volcano in Sicily erupts actually pretty often. A lot of people don't realize this, but it does.
Yeah. Which is crazy because, like, I saw pictures of it after, and, like, literally from the chow hall that I went to every day, people were taking pictures, and there's fucking ass. I was like, oh my God, that's crazy.
It's scary, right? The earth ain't to be fucked with. It really isn't.
No.
Like, there are volcanoes everywhere.
Well,
Yeah, I don't understand why mankind insists on, like, fucking with Earth. I don't understand. Like, that's a case to fuck around and find out. And
See, the volcano thing, it's just like, that there's nothing you can really do about it except watch it, and nothing you do on Earth will ever prevent it or ever manipulate it. It'll just do its thing on its own time.
So, like, let's say I go up to a volcano, right? And it's a pretty large volcano. If I were to throw, like, a boulder, like, yay big in it, would it erupt it?
No.
just melt.
No.
What if?
See, here's the thing. Here's the other thing about volcanoes is that most of them, yes, they have an open crater at the top, but it's not open into the pits of hell. It's closed. It's covered in rock. It has a couple. It has a couple little hole vents where there's like sometimes there's like vents of sulfur and shit coming out of it. So it would just honestly be as hard as the ground around you. It's solid. Volcanoes.
Is it hot?
Yeah, it's hot.
So then what's lava? Like, exactly what
Molten
is
rock.
technically lava?
It's rock.
It's just liquid rock?
It's rock liquefied.
Why is it so hot? Is it because it's, like, in Earth's core?
No, Earth has several. So you have the crust, the mantle, and the core. So all the lava's coming out of the mantle, which is the layer below the crust. So imagine like your sweat gland, for example, right? So you have how volcanoes are made is that like the magma under the crust has pockets and they have like little solid pockets underneath it. And that pocket has pressure and it has to go somewhere. So it goes for the path of least resistance, which is up. So it has a nice little soft spot in the ground, and it goes, pops out and starts spewing fucking liquid, like molten rock all over the place.
Crazy.
That's how islands are made.
Like a zit.
What?
That's how Hawaii. That's why Hawaii looks the way it is. Hawaii is kind of like on a moving fault line, kind of. You notice how the big volcano constantly is farther and farther away from the other islands? That's because over time that fucking volcano is spewing shit out, and what happens is that molten rock cools and becomes solid, and then it just builds and builds and builds, and it cools on top of it and cools on top of it and cools on top of it, and then you have an island.
Mm-hmm. Also,
island attached to the seafloor.
Yeah.
Because it all just stacks.
It all just stacks. It piles over, cools, piles over, cools, piles over,
The
cools.
USA and, like, what connects us to, like, Canada and Mexico, are we technically just a big ass fucking island?
Not really. So we have what's called tectonic plates, right? So the Earth's crust is like, imagine scales, like little fucking scales on a reptile or something. But imagine those scales move, right? So all of California has earthquakes because they're on what's called the San Andreas Fault, which is the San Andreas Fault is one plate on top of another plate. And when that shifts, that causes an earthquake. So that whole edge of California is actually is like a fault line, and that's a moving plate. The continents are usually on a plate. So
Dude,
if,
when
I-
you release this podcast, I'm gonna sound like a fucking idiot.
here's the thing, right? So a lot of these things are not, I mean, you can't really call them common knowledge because they're not taught commonly. Sometimes they're taught in maybe 1 or 2 classes in high school, and then everybody else forgets because they have other shit to worry about.
Mhm.
You only have to be autistic as shit like me to fucking really get into it. You know? You can't really.
I don't think it's autistic to get in.
It's-
I think it's actually really cool that
Oh,
you're
but
so into this because you are so smart.
It's not that I don't see. My wife tells me I'm smart. I'm not. I just research.
That's smart. That's literally smart. I'm gonna smack you with my Stanley.
But
cup.
it's
That's
also
literally
it's
smart.
super. It's an ADHD thing to do is to focus on these and learn about it, right? So when you get hyper fixated on something, that's ADHD. And what is that?
I get
What,
hyper fixated on like every fucking
Right.
language of coding, and then it's like I'm on to the next. Like I never finished
That-
Python. I've yet to finish Java, and now I'm trying to finish HTML.
so like space and earth science is my hyperfixation. It's the only hyperfixation I've ever had that's actually never gone away. Space, especially, mostly because space is ever changing and we're always finding shit.
Yeah.
And it's just fascinating. I mean, when you look through the telescope and you see a planet, like I look through it, I can see Jupiter and the stripes on it. Not
Can you send me
very.
a picture of that, by the way?
I can't. It's taking a photo on my phone. It looks like shit. You can't even tell it's a planet. It looks like a really bright star through the phone.
Guess what? Guess I gotta take a trip.
So when you look through it, I mean, it's like you ever look at a hot horizon and see the heat rising off of it,
Yeah.
and how
The
it kind of
mirage.
it distorts things.
Yeah.
That's what it looks like in my area to look at a planet. You see the little details of it, but they're kind of wavy because the atmosphere and there's heat and shit, right? So like the atmosphere has interference with clouds and all that other shit. And light pollution is another thing. Light affects that too. So you can't see much of the details. Now, astrophotography uses tools to enhance that image to make it look more detailed than what your eye will see. The other thing is we're limited on our eyes. Our eyes can only gather so much light. That's why when you look in through a telescope at the sky, you see way more fucking stars than if you just looked at it on a night sky. Because your eyes gather light and you can only see so much of it because they're so small and they can only gather so much light that you can't see certain things. So our eyes actually suck. That's why, have you ever noticed that when you look at a star directly, you don't see it, but when you look beyond it, it shows up in your peripherals?
Yeah.
It's because your
Yeah, I know what you're
peripherals
talking
pick up light better than your direct line of sight does.
Is that because of how sensitive our thing is?
Our retina?
Is that why?
No, it's because of the way that our eyes gather light. So like when you directly look at it, you can't see it because our eyes gather light in a way that our peripherals can see light better than our straight vision can. That's why if you go outside when it's dark out and you look up in the sky and you kind of like turn your eye a little bit, you'll see more stars out of the corner of your eye than when you look right at it.
That's
I love it.
crazy. Yeah, I love that.
Well, we should
Also-
what?
Oh, what were you gonna say?
I was gonna say we should wrap it up as we're at 3.5 hours.
I was about to say the same thing. I was
Yeah,
sending
good
the
luck
roast
editing
in,
this
and I'm
shit, bro.
starving.
I know.
Yeah, I'm very hungry too.
Well, I hope you had fun, Whiskey.
I really want to be brought back because this was really interesting. I learned a lot.
We're trying something a little bit different than what we normally do, which is read articles about fucking news
like
in the
it.
military and gaming. And I'm like, you know what? It's spoopy season. I want to start deep diving into weird shit and
Yeah.
scary shit. You know, because what is a barracks party? It's just a bunch of people hanging around drinking and talking about fucking weird shit.
Yeah.
So that's
I
what
got the drink
that's what we're doing. I don't have a drink on me right now. I'm out.
I got a couple
Yeah, I
more on
don't
the
either.
desk.
It's Sunday. Man, we should have, if we would have scheduled this for last night,
I know.
Mm.
Well, last night.
I would have been.
What the fuck? Yeah, well, we could have been last night, but you said you couldn't.
Yeah. I had plans.
So
But next time we're doing it on like a Friday or Saturday.
okay.
Very well.
We can just We can either get high or drunk or both and just talk about really spooky shit, and I'm just so down for that.
I have those free every other week because Kate works nights, and every other week is when we don't have the kids. So,
Dude, I can't take an edible. I will fucking be worthless.
I can't. I smoke. That's why I smoke.
I can't
I'm
smoke.
terrified of edibles.
Edibles are fine. Smoking is
blunt.
what kicks me out, man. But like taking an edible,
It
it's
just
like
makes me really tired.
it makes me tired too. That's why I don't really like taking that shit. If anything, I'll drink. When I drink, I'm more like, yeah. Oh, did you know fucking this? And then like when I'm high, it's just like. You know, I don't.
I get numb.
I get
when
it.
I'm high, I do not want to talk. I don't want to say a
depends
word.
on
I don't either.
Don't talk to me.
how many hits I take. If I take one, dude, and we start talking, like if I just take one hit of a blunt, I'm a lightweight. I rarely ever smoke. So when I do one blunt, dude, I'm like yapping about every conspiracy known to man, but like really slow and like kind of groggy. But yeah,
For me,
it's
I
funny.
lose track of what I'm saying when I'm high.
Me too. I can't keep up for longer than.
It feels
10
like
seconds.
it feels like the words I'm saying are not mine, so I just don't really talk.
Aw,
Same.
Yeah.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
Wait,
Anyway.
I think for the next thing of your podcast, do you guys both? I know you have a Twitter, Brock, but do you? Have you
I
guys
don't
been
use it.
seeing what's been going around on Twitter
No.
as of late?
About what?
Which streamer Frogan wishes the worst on American soldiers and hopes they get PTSD?
Who did?
Research.
I'm not gonna lie,
It's
I'm happy I do
everywhere.
because now I got
Frogan.
I got the VA claim paying me for it. So
Yeah, hell yeah. No,
I'm just
but
like,
yeah, this whole thing, and like I think, yeah, I don't know. When I was getting my hair done today, I was reading it, and I listened to it, and it was just fucking crazy. I mean, you can go on Chris's Entourage's Twitter, and he posted it. Sergeant Jackson posted it. Nick Merckx even dogged her. Sweet Tails dogged her.
oh yeah, I saw Hatfield post it.
Oh,
Who
I didn't
said
know
this?
Hatfield posted it. Frogan, Frogan.
FR0
She's a partnered
GAN.
Twitch streamer.
Oh.
Keep that in
So
mind.
she's just. I'm not gonna go into that. We need to end before I get crazy.
Yeah, we do. I need to eat too. I know we're all a little bit hungry.
Why does I think that should be a topic for a podcast or something.
We could eventually talk about it. Yeah, we could probably maybe next one. I'm gonna try to crank an episode out on the YouTubes tomorrow. I gotta edit the last one. I also gotta send you the section.
Yeah, just put it in the thing. Just put it in the Dropbox, and then just notify me when it's in there, and then I'll get to cranking out the shorts. You don't have to worry about the shorts. I got it.
Okay. Well, guys, thanks for joining us. We're happy to have you here. I know it was long. We went down some deep dives of space shit. So, love y'all. Appreciate y'all. We'll see you on the next episode of the Barracks Party. Have a good one.
Bye.